Okay, Lee, I've done it now.
Oh,
Lee.
hold on to get rid of this for you.
That's right, I know what to do.
And just
Okay, thanks very much. Right, Lee, what happened there, son?
No, well, you see, I got distracted. You coming into the studio. How long? Put my headphones on here and I see I got distracted. You coming into the studio and having the small talk and stuff.
Yeah, okay.
And
we're all
then
good now.
and we're all
Okay,
right.
we're back.
That's it. Come here. How's it going?
Very good. It's Christmas Wednesday, Lee.
I know. Isn't it? It flies in. Does it? It's hard to. When I look at the date, it says it's the 20th of December.
Well, you know yourself, at your age, the days go slow and the years go fast.
What does that mean?
Just means life doesn't belong,
You're
March
ahead of me,
on.
so what does that mean?
I'm not ahead of you, Gooch.
Yeah. Not even debate that anymore.
Do you think... Well,
What?
Yeah, I don't know. We should do a poll.
Come here. Never
Who's
mind all
older,
the
Lee or
agey
Greg-
thing.
Lee or
Forget
Greg?
about that. Come here. What about... I was praising you yesterday, saying that you're a good cook and stuff. I was chatting to... It was actually Keith Fletcher. He was letting on he could cook. Do you know, it was spaghetti bolognese or something like that. And I says, then you could do your own curries and you'd do your own spices and stuff. What about Christmas Day? How do you fare that out?
It's just going to be it's just a turkey, really.
Well, do you know what it is? It's a fancy piece of meat.
I think really what throws us off is none of us are used to cooking something so big. And then there is the fear that you either burn it or undercook it and give everyone food poisoning. And, it's just not something most of us do all year round. And I think the turkey scares us. That's why a lot of people go for the crowns or just the breast.
Yeah, but sure, whatever works.
But you have to chill. You see, last Christmas, we were in Nowdock with Hudson. So,
Yeah,
hopefully now everyone's well this year. So I don't really take anything for granted anymore. Do you know what I mean? Because all you wanted was everyone to be okay. So even if the chicken's burnt, as long as it's not raw, it'll be grand. Or the turkey, or
as long as you don't
it's
get... Yeah, but you see, I think we all put too much pressure on us. Like, I never cooked a turkey in my life. We never cooked a turkey
But this
ever
should be
in our
fun.
life. Huh?
Have a laugh with it.
No, but your dad always cooks a turkey. He brings it down. We do the potatoes and the vegetables. That's it. There's no big razzmatazz.
But that's perfect.
And we eat when we're hungry.
Sounds like heaven.
And there's no big steer. We just say, is anybody hungry yet? No, because you'd be kind of nibbling away at stuff. And sure, all it is the bit of turkey. We might have a bit of ham because Wheelie likes a bit of ham. And then some, I'm going to get big dirty carrots. Do you know the ones, the proper ones, not in the frozen bags, and some Brussels sprouts, and some potatoes, and maybe do some...
That's Christmas dinner, sunshine. That's it. What are you
that
going
is
to have
it.
for dessert?
Mum usually makes trifle. Everybody cooks or
Really?
something.
I was going to say, of course your Christmas is all casual because everyone's doing it for you. It's like Caroline.
Dad does the turkey. He does a wee bit of turkey. Mum does the trifle. And
you'll burn the carrots and that's it.
And we'll cook the spuds and thing and happy days. Do you know?
Well, I look forward to chatting to you in 2024 to see how it all went.
I did cook turkey or a duck for them one time. Cooked 2 ducks.
I've tried duck 4 or 5 times and just the sort of metallic-y taste of it. I've tried it in all different ways and I thought I should really love duck, but I just don't like...
there's no duck.
Just don't like
Forget
the taste
the duck.
of it.
There's things I could say about the duck.
And then you get that, sometimes you shove, what is it? You shove a partridge in a duck and a duck in a chicken and a chicken in a turkey.
There's no eating them, full of fat. But then somebody
have you seen that where you shove each one into the other one and it's like Russian dolls of bird?
No, I don't fancy that.
Yeah, well.
Per bird, I think.
Anyway, we'll not humanise the animals because it will ruin Christmas for
yeah, exactly. Come here, have a good show, right?
I shall see you tomorrow. Lee Gooch. Okay. It is just a couple of minutes past 9. Let's get a news update, and it's over to Donna Marie Doherty on this line. Go ahead, Donna. Sorry. Donna
Thanks,
Marie.
Greg. Good morning. Donegal County Council Strategic Planning Policy Committee has been told it's important that people realise accommodation centres for refugees are being deployed under special dispensation from the government, and the council has no involvement in giving those developments the go-ahead. Councillor Jerry McMonigal pointed out this week that former retail premises and derelict buildings are being developed as accommodation centres for Ukrainians or those seeking international protection, and in many cases what's being created are cramped living quarters which cram in as many people as possible to increase the owner's profit margins. Councillor McMonigal says more must be done to stop that from happening.
There's planning exemptions for anybody who's turning former retail or derelict buildings into accommodation for the purpose of housing refugees, whether it be IPAS or Ukrainians. What I'm saying here today is that that's okay, but what we're doing is allowing people to make an awful lot of money and cram as many people as they possibly can into small premises, and this isn't good enough. These are human beings at the end of the day and they need to be treated properly.
6 cars were taken off the road in Derry following a weekend safety operation by the Foyleside and Moore neighbourhood policing teams in conjunction with the Driver and Vehicle Agency. Among issues detected were unfit for purpose tyres, defective parts and a broken subframe. As a result, prohibition notices were issued to 6 drivers as well as 15 fixed penalty notices. Those were issued for defective tyres and brakes, illegal modifications and an excessive window tint. A new number of laws on our roads are moving a step closer. Ministers are set to approve the publication of a new bill to legislate for a number of offences, including default speed limits. Stephanie Rowan reports from this morning's Cabinet meeting at Government Buildings.
These proposed laws tackle 3 areas: speed limits, drink and drug driving and penalty points. The legislation would see default limits coming into force, meaning that, for example, in built-up areas there would be a 30 km/h limit. The laws would also make drug testing mandatory at the scene of a serious collision. The legislation would also allow for the application of multiple penalty points in a single stop when more than one offence is committed. There were also plans to have higher penalty points on bank holiday weekends, but that's not happening for now, as the proposed laws need more scrutiny.
And now for weather, mostly cloudy and breezy, or rather windy today with outbreaks of rain and drizzle, a few heavier bursts likely. Milder than yesterday with highest temperatures of 9 to 11 degrees and fresh to strong and gusty west to northwest winds. That's all for now from Highland Radio News until 10 o'clock. In the meantime, keep up to date on our website highlandradio.com. Till then, good morning.
This Christmas at Super Value, we have great offers to help you share the magic, like Super Value Signature Taste Fresh Irish Hampshire Ham Fillet, 1.4 kilo, only $10.99. Selected fruit and veg like carrots and Brussels sprouts, 49 cents each. Plus, get money off vouchers every week on the Real Rewards app too. Share the magic this Christmas with Super Value, in store or online.
The county's #1 talk show, the 9 till noon show on Highland Radio. And now it's time for the talk of the Northwest, the 9 to noon show with Greg Hughes on Highland Radio.
Hello and a very good morning to you. 6 minutes past 9 this Wednesday, the 20th of December 2023. How are you all keeping? I hope you're very well indeed. And you're on board with us, aren't you, for the next 3 hours on the 9 till noon show and throughout the course of the day here on Highland Radio. And we've another interesting show for you today with the nice mix of keeping you up to date with what's happening around the region, around the world, of course, but also we're going to be visiting another nursing home, and we're going to Port na Bla today. Looking forward to hooking in with the crew there, so you can look forward to some more of the fun we had yesterday and the day before. That's coming up a little later on, and so much more besides, so please do not go anywhere. And just to remind you, you can watch the programme as you can every single day, all year round, and it's on YouTube, Highland Radio Ireland, on Facebook, Highland Hub, Highland Radio News and Sport, and also on X. And you can also click the Watch Live button on our website and watch in browser. So there's no excuses at all not to be involved, be it on the radio or elsewhere. The papers this morning, the Finn Valley Voice, a new 150 EW 150 kilowatt charger unveiled in Navanny Car Park by the buffet on Thursday, allows drivers to charge up within a matter of minutes and marks a significant step towards accessibility of sustainable energy solutions for local residents, as well as those travelling to and through County Donegal. There is a couple of charging points already up the top of the town, I suppose you could say, in Stranraer. I've never seen a car, well, I've seen a car sitting on it once. I've never seen them used very, very often, but I'm sure that more high-powered one will draw more traffic. On to the Inish Times this morning. Guardian and Inishone are liaising with the PSNI in an attempt to establish if there is a cross-border link to a spate of burglaries across the peninsula over the last 10 days. 4 burglaries were reported in Redcastle, Moville and Burnfoot on Monday night and Tuesday morning. They followed 7 burglaries in the Moville and Greencastle areas on December 10th and 11th, which included the ransacking of the sacristy at St. Columba's Church, Ballynacray. Now, I know, speaking to some people in the area, that everyone is sort of, not everyone, sorry, a lot of people are really quite worried about the situation, quite anxious about it, and are looking for some progress in that investigation, which is really understandable. In the most recent instances, there was a burglary at Clár, Redcastle, at around 4:45 on Tuesday. The residents in the house heard an intruder. When they went to check around the property, the intruder was gone. A rear window was breached and entry had been gained, and a number of items were disturbed within the house, and a purse containing a bank card had been stolen. And they go on then in the paper to list further the instances. And if you want to hear or watch that, by the way, you can also listen back to Community Garda information from yesterday. It's in our Highland Radio News and Sport Facebook page. The Donegal Post this morning, an experienced Garda has told how he felt like a sitting duck after being trapped and set upon in his patrol car during a terrifying attack in Bundoran. Garda Fiacre O'Hara was set upon by John Martin Ward after he went to answer reports of a public order incident alone. When he arrived at the scene of the call at Super Value car park in the seaside town on the evening of July 21st, 2021, he found a large crowd beside a caravan. He suddenly heard someone shout, "Get the keys," and he was approached by Ward, who's 40. John Martin Ward appeared at Donegal Circuit Court this week after he pleaded to assault causing harm to Garda O'Hara during the terrifying incident. I'm not sure which way he pleaded, but we can read on in the paper, and I'm sure it'll be contained further down within that article. Right, the Irish Times this morning, Census 2022 data released by the CSO yesterday underlines the delicate balance between demographic growth and the Irish language in the Gaeltacht. The latest official figures reveal that the population of the Gaeltacht increased by 7% since 2016, while the numbers of daily Irish speakers continued to fall. Over 6,500 more people were living in the Gaeltacht in April 2022 when the census was carried out, compared with April 2016, bringing the combined Gaeltacht population to more than 106,000 people. Of those living in the Gaeltacht, 65,156 indicated that they could speak Irish, while all 8 Gaeltacht areas in the state saw population growth. Just 31% of the Gaeltacht population, or 20,261 people, reported that they speak Irish on a daily basis, representing a 2% fall compared with 2016, 325 fewer people, which is a concern. The proliferation of holiday homes and high property prices have long been the focus of advocates, with many calling for a dedicated housing policy to protect linguistically vulnerable communities in the Gaeltacht. But I would imagine too there's quite a few people have decentralised and moved to these areas as well, you know, remote working and what have you. But is it something that can be reversed now at this point? There is a lot of effort with very good people working on the ground trying to promote the use of the Irish language, but it still continues to decline, which is quite, as I say, potentially for some really quite worrying. On to the Irish Independent now, and new powers for Gardaí will allow suspected drug driving motorists to be detained while officers wait for a drug test result. Drivers suspected of drug driving who've given a sample will be held by Gardaí while a result is being processed under proposals going to Cabinet that will fix an anomaly in the current law. However, plans to increase penalty points for some driving offences committed during bank holiday weekends will be stalled as they need further legal scrutiny. And to be honest with you, when I heard that to begin with, it didn't make a great deal of sense to me, to be honest with you. I do understand that it can be more dangerous at that time, bank holidays, but maybe there's more traffic. There's a lot of variables there. Anyway, Minister of State at the Department of Transport, Jack Chambers, will publish the updated road traffic bill following Cabinet sign-off, which includes new speed limits and provisions for multi-penalty points to be imposed where more than one offence is committed. An anomaly in current laws will be fixed, which will allow Gardaí to detain drivers once they give a sample for a drug test and await the results, a government source said last night. A busy Cabinet meeting. They're signing off on quite a lot today, it seems. On to the Irish Daily Mail this morning, and I don't think this is going to come as a surprise to many. Applications by Irish healthcare staff to work in Australia have soared by almost 1,000 amid fears the HSE recruitment freeze will only drive that number higher. Figures obtained by the Irish Daily Mail from the Australian Health Practitioner Regulation Agency show that successful applications for the year 2022-23 stand at close to 2,500, up 982 just 12 months earlier. The most recent level of applications represents a 100% 140% rise on the 1,045 applications that were finalised in 2018-19. There are now 8,880 Irish medical professionals registered to work in Australia. That's up 2,204 since 2018-2019 now. I mean, there's always going to be a level of people qualifying and wanting to see different parts of the world and work in different environments. But the bottom line is that being enticed to Australia and being offered really good packages that make them feel very well rewarded and very well regarded. And until such time as this country has a look at itself and says, well, what are we going to do to try to keep them here? The problem's only going to get worse, because Australia's not the only market, in inverted commas, or the only space that we're losing these workers to. Really quite worrying. On to the Irish Daily Star now. And Micheál Martin, the Taoiseach, has branded suggestions from a Fianna Fáil councillor that the inn is full for asylum seekers as completely unacceptable. Now, if this is a story that vexes you, or maybe some of you are sick listening to it, I'm sorry, but for 2024 nationally, this is going to be the big topic. There's just no doubt about that, because you can see the various political parties, both publicly and internally, nationally and then locally, really trying to figure out where we're at, or where they want to be at in this conversation, because there's some very important elections coming up as much as everything else. And you are seeing subtle language changes from people at the top. There's just no doubt about that. But the Fianna Fáil leader stated that the inn was empty and that a hotel in Galway that had been earmarked for 70 international protection applicants should not have been burnt down. Mr Martin also confirmed that he had spoken to Galway councillor Noel Thomas regarding his inn is full comment, but had not been able to reach Seamus Walsh. A spokesperson for Fianna Fáil said that comments made by party representatives have been referred to the party's Rules and Procedures Committee. Yesterday, Mr Martin blasted the comments. He didn't agree with it. On to the Sun now this morning, and an interesting story, and maybe, if anything, might make Prince Andrew sweat. This might be it. Britain's Prince Andrew is braced for a New Year nightmare with the release of more evidence from a grope accuser. Judge Loretta Preska has ruled that material relating to Joanna Sjoberg should be unsealed in 14 days. The order was signed on December 18th, meaning they should be made public anytime from January 1st onwards, unless anyone appeals. The 40 documents should reveal additional details of Ms. Sjoberg's encounters with Andrew, which have already put him in a very unflattering light. Now, this fella, Andrew, claims that he's never done anything wrong, but he has paid millions, up to €10 million, and been stripped of all his royal titles and duties for something he claims he never ever did at all. Well, anyway, this lady has claimed he groped her breasts at Jeffrey Epstein's New York mansion in March 2001 when she was 22, and he was playing with a spitting image puppet of himself, a gift from Epstein's lover, Ghislaine Maxwell. So it'll be interesting to see what comes out of those documents. An awful lot of murky stuff surrounding Epstein that's been covered up. And the sooner it all comes out, the better. I'm not saying that's it all coming out, but anyway. And the Finance Minister finally in the Mirror this morning. The Finance Minister held off on introducing a new tax on vaping amid fears it might put off smokers who were using e-cigs to help break their habit. Excuse me. In a pre-budget submission, officials from the Department of Finance said they needed to be a delicate balance to both discouraging young people from vaping while also supporting smokers. The Health Department had advised too that any new tax on e-cig should be ring-fenced for use in tobacco control and to help reduce smoking. Michael McGrath also decided to leave taxes on alcohol untouched, despite lobbying from the drinks industry who wanted to bring Irish rates of duty in line with other EU states. So that detail just been released now quite some time after the budget, but I thought just an interesting one to note. Rightio, 086 60 25,000 WhatsApps and texts. Feel free to comment on our socials as well. By the way, if you're watching the show, we'll be back with our first guests on the programme in just a couple of moments. Stay right where you are.
The newspapers are courtesy of Kelly Centra Mountaintop Letterkenny, the C-Store National Large Forecourt of the Year for 2022.
The 9 till noon show is brought to you by Letterkenny Credit Union. Digital loans now available. Apply online or via our app today and get your loan transferred directly to your current account.
At Hickey, Clark and Langan Insurance Brokers, they compare quotes from all the leading insurers, so you get a great price. Home, motor and van, farm, holiday home, travel and liability insurance, they quote them all. So if the worst happens, you're covered. For a competitive insurance quote today, call Hickey, Clark and Langan on 9126688 or pop into their office at Ballymacool, Letterkenny. Hickey, Clark and Langan General Insurances Limited, trading as Hickey, Clark and Langan, is regulated by the Central Bank of Ireland.
Hi, Nathan Carter here, and I'm delighted to say I've just had 2 installations from Cherrymore Kitchens and Bedrooms, and I have to say their attention to detail is second to none. With their sleek design and craftsmanship, your dream kitchen is just a visit away. So why not head over to Cherrymore Kitchens and Bedrooms and let the magic begin.
Cherrymore Kitchens and Bedrooms, Donegal Town. More kitchens your way since 1996. Visit cherrymore.ie or call 97 25822 to book your free design appointment.
Make it a Christmas dinner to remember with Board Pia quality assured meats from Dunnes Stores. Serve up an Irish maple cured smoked ham fillet and a fresh Irish turkey breast crown with prime wings. Just €50 when bought together. Which means if you use a 10 off 50 grocery voucher, you can get both for just €40. Dunnes Stores. Make Christmas for everyone. Terms and conditions apply. Voucher can be used in the next grocery shop with €50 or more.
It's time to transform your smile with the help of Blue Poppy Dental, Letterkenny and Donegal Town. Their expert team offer orthodontics, teeth whitening, implants and composite bonding all in-house. Start your journey by calling 074 97 40404 or easily book your appointment online at a time that suits you through their user-friendly patient portal. Available anytime, anywhere at bluepoppydental.com. Blue Poppy Dental and Orthodontics, Letterkenny and Donegal Town. Gift vouchers available.
This Christmas, one Lotto Plus player is guaranteed to become a millionaire. And not just any millionaire, a Christmas millionaire. Just play Lotto with Plus on December 23rd, and that Christmas millionaire could be you. The National Lottery. Play responsibly. Play for fun.
Highland Radio time checks with Expressway. Travel Route 32 from Letterkenny to Dublin when you book online and travel for less. Expressway, bringing you the time at...
All right, it is 9:21. We're joined on the programme now by Councillor Michael McClafferty. Good morning, Michael. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, Greg. Morning, listeners.
I suppose, yesterday we heard from An Garda Síochána of sheep being stole, quite a lot of sheep being stole in the Milford district, and now we're talking about sheep kills by roaming dogs as well, as if farmers haven't enough to be contending with. For those watching, we're going to play out a video. It's not fantastic quality, which is no harm, but it does tell the picture. So what happened? Where did it happen?
Basically, Greg, this sheep kill yesterday, between darkness and Monday night and daylight Tuesday yesterday morning early, sheep were killed in the Balcony, got a Hork area there, which is just outside Kilcar for the people that aren't too sure of where it is. So obviously a farmer got up early in the morning, going to tend to his flock of sheep and that. And on arrival, as the video shows then, just he was met then with dead sheep, other sheep highly traumatised. There's 4 sheep dead at the moment. The other sheep are highly traumatised, and I was speaking to them again early this morning there, and unfortunately the other sheep that are traumatised, they have begun starting to abort their lambs there early this morning there, Greg. So as we as farmers all know, this is probably going to be the trend going forward with all these sheep. It's highly possible all of them will abort their lambs, which leads into a very, very distressing situation obviously for the farmer.
Mm-hmm.
For himself, for his wife, for his family, his kids, witnessing all this yesterday morning, witnessing now this morning again, and the days going forward, what's going to happen. He has a flock of sheep there that are still living, but they're highly traumatised, and it's just unacceptable. And all this is caused because of roaming dogs, Greg, because somebody didn't watch their dogs, or somebody's dogs were unattended to and they got away. This should not be happening. I mean, we have spoken about this down through the years. I've spoken about it umpteen times yourselves there in Highland with yourself, with others there. The Gardaí talk about it, the AFA talk about it. Every year it's the same thing, but the message is not hitting home Greg, with dog owners, to control your dogs, whether that means keeping them in the pen, in the kennel, tied in a chain, keep them at the house, but wherever they are, keep them under control. If your dog's not at the house, momentarily or otherwise, you need to know immediately where your dog is, and you certainly need to be going out looking for him, or if need be jumping into the car and start driving about till you find him or her. Because if you can't find them and you don't know where they are, there's every possibility your dog is responsible for what happened yesterday morning. Got a hark, and that's the bottom line. Balthing got a hark, sorry.
And is there a sense in the community that dogs are roaming or are seen roaming? Or, I mean, obviously this is happening under the cover of darkness, and farmers are waking up to this, but is there a chatter that a lot of dogs do roam around? You can see them, or is it only really the results of their actions that we're seeing in the light of day?
As a result of their actions that we're seeing, Greg, in the light of day, I suppose the other thing I would point out, just county-wide, you do see from time to time popping up on Facebook, a dog found here, a dog found there, so on, etc. Fair enough, a dog has been found, somebody's trying to locate the owner, but at the same time, we as farmers would rather possibly, if the owner of the dog had a dog missing, rather than somebody up or down the road finding a dog and looking for the owner. Because if you lost a dog, obviously you know the dog's not there. So the question would be with ourselves in the farming world, why are you not posting looking for your dog? Why is Mary or Johnny or Paddy down the road found a dog somewhere and managed to get a hold of it, and they're putting up there looking for the owner?
Oh, you'd see a mix of it, but I suppose too, like I would see, I would be sent quite a few, with dogs missing and looking for the public to help. But I suppose the way things are now, especially at this time of year, maybe people are reluctant to put those posts up, because if there is a sheep kill, they could get blamed rightly or wrongly. So it's catch-22 maybe for some people. But either way, I think there are a lot of people, a lot of dog owners that don't believe maybe that their dog is capable of this, that maybe they let them out, or they're an outside dog in inverted commas, and they're an absolute angel during the day. But I think a lot of us can't really comprehend how a dog basically will revert to type, okay? And it comes from, a wild hunting type animal, and it reverts to that, especially if it's with other dogs. And then it'll come back in the morning and just be an absolute angel again.
That's the problem, Greg. This is the thing about it. You could have your dog, my dog or your dog could be in the house now beside us at the table. They could be licking the face off us and all play for and everything else. But once it gets to dark, if that dog gets out, gets away, turns into a demon. There actually used to be, Greg, you'll recall back in the day, some years ago now, you'll recall when we were younger, there used to be an ad on the television. It used to be on RT1 normally every evening, kind of I think it was a cartoon type ad, but it pointed out the point of dogs getting away and killing sheep. We don't see that type of situation. I don't know for why. We don't see those type of ads anymore on the television or on social media, so on, etc. And those type of ads need to come back to educate people, to let them see what their dogs can and are responsible of. Regardless, the wee cuddly dog or poodle could be, as I say, could be licking the face off you now, but come night time, dark time, he gets out, he could be a street killer, and you won't know unless some farmer lands at your door possibly and says, look, your dog killed my sheep.
But a lot of the time the farmer doesn't find out who is responsible, and especially coming up to Christmas, it is a business. Farmers, of course, often will raise animals to slaughter, but they do care an awful lot for animals as well. So there is the upset of coming across this scene. There is the expense, the huge potential loss, and then there is the loss of those lambs that sheep will abort when they are traumatised. So, this is a really big hit for the farming family affected by this, both financially and emotionally, just as I say, a couple of days out for Christmas.
Yes, Greg, you're right. In both counties, I say they're both financially and emotionally. This bill is going to run to thousands of euro. That's what the reality is here, Greg. Thousands of euro. And the reality is as well, unfortunately, these yokes that abort their lambs, there's no guarantee that they will come out of this trauma that they're in either, to be fair. That's the other side of it. So the farmers had literally several thousand euro here immediately, whatever it adds up to going forward when the final tally be done, when we know the extent of the trauma and everything else.
You would wonder, Michael, if one dog would be capable of this. Do you know what I mean? Because to take 4 sheep down and it might turn out that others have been attacked. this took quite some time, very stressful for the sheep, of course. Do you think, from your experience, is it likely to be one dog, or was it running, or were they running in pairs or more?
I would say it's running in pairs or more, Greg, from my experience, and I'll see other farmers out there will share much the same view. It's too much. There's too much damage done here for one dog. And generally, anyways, we all know it's usually pairs or more, as you see. I've actually some years ago known of 4 dogs down here doing an attack way back a long time ago.
Yeah.
4 together, like.
Again, which is for people who have a dog on their own, it's just not something maybe they can get their head around. But the bottom line is at any time of year, but particularly this time of year, the dog has to be kept under control. It has to be kept in at night. Now, I'm not saying it has to be kept in the house, but it has to be kept on the property at night. That's just the otherwise. And if the person is found, if the dog is found and the owner is found, that they are liable for this as well. Not to mention that a farmer is perfectly within its right to shoot a dog on its land, and I don't think any dog owner would want that.
That's the reality as well. First of all, if the dogs are found, we assume it's dogs. In this case, we feel that is the case. It is dogs. If the dogs are found, the owner is fully liable, and also for any dog at all enters into farmland, the farmer is entitled, what the law on his side, within his right, if he happens to have access to a gun, he can shoot that dog on site, no questions asked. Some people may say that's cruel, but that's the reality of it. But at the same time, we have thousands of euros worth of damage done here this morning. A family suffering a hell of a lot, I can tell you, from knowing them. And that's the other side of it that people don't get. And for the people as well that may want to make the argument or don't get it, that their lone single dog could not be capable of doing this. The reality is, I will say to those people, well, you think your dog may not, but the problem is when your dog leaves the premises, goes down the road and meets maybe your neighbour's dog or a dog a mile down the road, when the two of them to get together, that's where you have the trouble. So you have 2 single dogs then becoming a dual pair then. Yeah. That's where reality kicks in, and that's where the danger is.
Obviously my sympathies with the farming family here, but also general dog owners. The vast majority of dog owners are very responsible, but between issues like this, dog fouling, the small group of people that allow their dogs to run on beaches or in parks without a lead on, it gives... I'm starting to feel that this is becoming a very unfriendly country for dogs, if you know what I mean, or dog ownership. And it's not because of the majority of very responsible dog owners. It is the minority who don't seemingly care or don't get it. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's in all our interests that we sort of moderate this minority's behaviour. So we don't want a place where you can't go anywhere with a dog. We don't want that either.
No, of course not, Greg. And I know, like I say, nobody's going out either with the big stick and looking to hack anybody as such either because of a dog. But just, again, back to the minority, they need to be responsible and they need to be respectful. But as somebody indicated to me yesterday, unfortunately, the way things are going at the minute, the respect is going out the window in relation to the dogs with some people. And, for example, of walking possibly places with their dog off the lead, maybe terrorising children, terrorising others, maybe down the beach is happening from time to time. It's happening in Irish Forest Park, it's happening Hornhead, for example, out at the Dunfanny Youth Football Park out there. They're going out there with dogs off the lead. They're stuffing on. Dogs are doing their business then. They're not picking up after the dog. They're messing up the trails. There's no need for this. All these things, first of all, put on a lead. Secondly, take your bag with you. And thirdly, be responsible with your dog. If your dog is a bit hyper or whatever, be conscious of the fact that children are small children.
But even all year, particularly if I'm walking with a small person, and I'm not talking about Aisling in this situation, I'm talking about Hudson, but even when I'm walking with a small person, you see these dogs come bounding at them, the height of the child, and the smile and joy on the face of the owner, not understanding that it's instilling fear, and I get that, and I'm patient, and I understand it, but you see yourself out and about that people don't get that not everybody loves their dog like they love it, or not everybody thinks it's just this most beautiful pet. You know what I mean? But anyway, listen, Michael.
100%.
We must move on. Again, it's a nightmare for this farming family on many levels, financially, emotionally as well. We hope the majority of the sheep can keep their lambs, but we do know that even a dog barking or running up against a fence where sheep are can cause enough distraction or upset. So even if we're walking and the dog's not in a field, we have to be careful that it's not upsetting sheep, because that can be enough for them to abort their lambs as well. But anyway, for now, Councillor Michael McClafferty, thanks for that. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
All right, take care. Bye-bye. Any more information along those lines? 086 60 25,000. We mentioned, Greg, please, and thank you for dropping by on Sunday afternoon. No problem. It was my pleasure and lovely to see you. The Letterkenny Rotary Club Christmas Tree of Remembrance is open and awaiting on your support down at the Letterkenny Shopping Centre. So feel very free to drop and write your yellow ribbon while supporting St Vincent de Paul Society, No Barriers Foundation and Rotary International Charities with a donation. You can remember someone special in this way with a yellow ribbon, someone who's passed away, someone who's ill, who can't get home for Christmas, or for any special intention that you wish. Strictly confidential, and you'll also get a free Christmas card too. The tree will be there right up to Christmas Eve, so your support this year again would be greatly appreciated once more. Okay. The blinding lights, you might have seen them when you're out and about. Some of them, on dips, they would clean the eyes out of your head. Tom's had that experience. He's got a comment on that, and we'll hear it after these.
Watch the show live now on YouTube, Facebook, and at highlandradio.com.
The 9 till noon show with Letterkenny Credit Union. Simplify your debts with a debt consolidation loan from Letterkenny Credit Union. Call us on 074 910 2126 or apply online via our app or in office today. Looking for last-minute gift ideas? Sunny Centre Letterkenny have a superb range of noise-cancelling headphones, Bluetooth speakers, party speakers, soundbars, Google TVs, cameras, camcorders and much more. Sunny Centre Letterkenny, the destination for sunny in the northwest.
This Christmas, let TFI Local Link help you get into the festive spirit and bring you where you need to go. Use our regular rural and door-to-door services to connect with friends and family throughout the Christmas season, with many routes offering evening and weekend services too. For a full list of service arrangements, visit transportforireland.ie. TFI Local Link, part of the Transport for Ireland network.
If you're doing some shopping today and fancy taking the weight off your feet or forgetting about having to cook when you get home, take a seat at Kelly's award-winning diner in Letterkenny and select from a menu that's packed with great value, family favourite choices. Relax over a coffee and sandwich, maybe a bite of lunch, something for dinner, or a treat from the dessert menu. Great food and great service every day at Kelly's Diner, Mountaintop, Letterkenny.
Homeowners, it's time to unlock incredible savings on your energy bills. Efficient Renewables is here to reduce your energy consumption, say goodbye to skyrocketing costs and hello to renewable energy solutions. With no VAT on solar panels and the generous grants for both solar panels and heat pumps, see these innovative systems in action in our state-of-the-art showroom in Newton Cunningham today. Contact Efficient Renewables on 074 97 08320.
Need help designing or understanding plumbing requirements for your new bathroom is not a problem. Our experienced staff are equipped to handle any type of bathroom installation, from a simple tap replacement to a complete bathroom overhaul. Call in and see us and view our checklist to make sure you have everything in order. It could save you money and a huge amount of hassle. McDade's Bathroom Plumbing Towers, Buncrana, making things simpler for you.
Express Frozen Food Store Derry open 6 days per week, offering catering quality frozen food at unbelievable prices. Excellent rate on the euro. Express Frozen Food Store Derry, just before the Brunswick Movie Bowl. Great food, great value and excellent rates on the euro. Wishing everyone a happy Christmas and a prosperous new year.
All right, Tom's with us now. Hiya, Tom.
Good morning.
You are, I've noticed, as most motorists have, what seems to be excessively bright lights on cars now. Tom, what's been your experience?
Well, I've just noticed that certainly within the last month. I didn't seem to notice it before. I might have seen a very bright headlight, but now there's quite a lot of them. And they're quite new to me. Perhaps other people haven't noticed it as much, or it's bothering me more than it might them. But they're very bright headlights now, and it's dark now. Today, for instance, shortest day, and tomorrow of the year, it's going to be dark you need your headlights from about 4 o'clock on. And as they come round the corners to you, or straight ahead, there's a very, very bright headlight, and when they're dimmed, they're very bright as well. Brighter than they used to be. Other cars on the road have and they're dimmed, you have a yellowish light, and you know obviously that it's a dimmed light, but not with these.
I think, too, a lot of the cars now are higher, you know, the sort of SUVs or crossovers or some variation of that, and they seem to have incredibly bright LED lights, and it's a nightmare on full headlights, but even on dips, if you're in a lower vehicle, it is really, really blinding, and we don't really know how big a factor this might be in traffic collisions, you know, after the fact, Tom, which is something I think maybe needs a little bit of investigation, does it?
Well, I would think after an investigation, unfortunately, has more than, it seems to have more than a lot of places, that it would be something taken into account after the event, but that's too late. Because when you're travelling on the road, you're just about maybe at the most 4 feet away from, or 1 metre away from the other car coming in the opposite direction. So it's a matter of milliseconds to pass and to avoid this. And I find it very off-putting.
Mm-hmm. No, I
it's a bit slower to dip.
Yeah. And I think, too, with the modern car, a lot of the cars, the new cars now, have automatic dipping. And I just wonder, are they dipping later than someone might dip them manually? I'm not sure, Tom, if your car has the automatic lights, but I think a lot of people have them on, and it's the car themselves that dips the light rather than the driver. And I just wonder, maybe is the technology dipping them a little later than the manual method?
Well, it seems to be, if you're going to dip your own headlights, you know that there's a car coming because you see the glow of the oncoming car, and you just dip it as it comes around that corner or over that height. And you have it done before it comes, and it usually will have too. But these are right beside you before they dip.
They come round the corner
dip,
and then
some of them
dip,
don't seem to dip at all.
Yeah, indeed.
Maybe they're relying on the mechanics to do it.
I think that's probably a factor, and I think also too, obviously, the very bright lights. A lot of the lights. There's a couple of cars now. The lights are very, very high up, and also they have a continuous light across the front of the car as well, which I think is takes a little bit of getting used to. But okay, Tom, listen. Let's see what other listeners think. Thanks so much for your time this morning. That's Tom. Are you noticing more bright lights? Cars late to dip their lights? Is it having an impact on your driving, and so on and so forth? Should dogs, asks a caller, have GP tags on their collars so that owners can find them? Dogs will escape and go for a dander. Lila, my friend's dog, used to do it all the time and visit me and Roxy, which is nice, and that sounds cute and all that, and it is, and it's lovely, and I'm sure the dog got up to no nastiness, but we can't really, I don't know if we can sort of trust them to do the right thing. Okay, let us go to Diana now. Good morning to you, Diana. Thanks so much for your time.
Good morning, Greg. Thanks so much for having me on the show.
We were talking about safety ramps outside schools yesterday, and we'll sort of broaden out the conversation, if you wish, Diana, a little bit. Talk to me about your concerns in the at Killygordon National School.
So my name's Diana Keatley-Robb. I'm the principal of Killygordon National School. So, Greg, just to give you a wee bit of context, we're a two-teacher school with 19 pupils, and between full-time and part-time, we would have 6 staff members here, 2 parking spaces, and a very small drop-off area. We're actually situated right on the N15 National Primary Road at a major junction with traffic lights, so there can be quite a bit of congestion at pick-up and drop-off times. I suppose our main concern is that most of our families actually travel by car because we serve a lot of rural communities who don't live within the confines of the village itself. We would have families that would travel as far as from Convoy and Raphoe, and most of our children travel by car, so it's adding to the congestion at the school gate. And I just feel it's so important to highlight that we have so many schools around the county and indeed the country, and they have similar issues with safety at school gates.
And a lot of the times the school was there before the roads were upgraded or what have you, and we never thought about it properly, did we? We never sort of says, right, what about the safety of students, parents and teachers as well?
Yeah, because funny, I was thinking about that even historically. I mean, I'm here over 20 years and we didn't have the same issue back then. There was fewer cars on the road, but also a lot more kids travelled by bus. And nowadays, it just doesn't seem to be the same profile of our school. And I know that we're trying so hard to get, park and stride and kids to use bikes and scooters. But I still feel the infrastructure is just not there, for them to use the footpaths and the cycle paths safely. And we don't have those at our school.
And low curbs, doesn't seem to be a great deal of lighting. If we are going to doing, walking and cycling to school, there's no cycle lane. The road's relatively narrow. It doesn't really fit, does it? You know what I mean? We can't have a national policy that simply wouldn't work in a school like yours.
That's it. I'd love a wee bit more joined up thinking, just to try and look at the profiles of all schools, because not everyone fits the same bill, I think, and that's kind of where we are. We're kind of stuck in the middle.
And just looking at Google Maps of your school here, just to sort of get a sense as we're speaking, and just by coincidence, as the Google Maps van was passing, you've got a massive green articulated lorry that's just about to go down past the school. It's trying to make the corner there, and it's over on the wrong side of the road. And then you've got a massive big, I don't know what weight it would be, flat bed lorry also going past the school with its really, really significant traffic. And I see the approach road too. Looks like drivers would be driving really quite fast approaching that school. Look, it's a big, long stretch coming into the town.
It is, yeah.
What do you think needs doing, or ideally, if you could, obviously not moving the school or what have you, but in terms of road safety there, what do you think as the principal, Diana, would be the solution, or at least a help?
I think there needs to be just a little bit more awareness of all road users, because I've been speaking to bus drivers, for example, and they obviously need enough space to get their vehicles in. Our parents, a lot of them have very small children, so they can't, a lot of ours have small children and then smaller children with them, that haven't even started school yet. For them to walk, it's a bit difficult. I just feel wider spaces with better vision lines, with very perfect vision lines when we're pulling out, and even just better drop-off spaces. Yeah. I just feel that the areas that are there could be used a little bit more efficiently.
Yeah, and you don't really see the school until you're up on it either.
No, you don't.
I know there is a sign there, but you don't. Right, okay, stay with us because there are other people sharing these concerns, including James. Hi, James.
Good morning. How's things?
I'm good. You're also involved with Killygordon National School. What's your experience? What have you got to add?
Well, first of all, yes, I just want to reiterate everything Diana said. She's correct in everything she said. I currently have 3 children that go to the school.
Yeah.
I have 7 children, so I obviously have 4 younger than junior infants. And this has been a concern now for over a year since we started attending the school. And I think the issue is because there's maybe myself and 2 or 3 other parents are doing at least 3 drop-offs to that school at 3 different points during the day. Then road safety is obviously a huge concern, and as you've mentioned already, you're looking at it on Google Maps. Now, I'm there, as I say, 3 times a day. I'm recording, and I've already spoke to Gardaí about this. The number of people who are speeding through there, the number of trucks that are racing to beat the lights, the line of vision coming up to the school is non-existent. And I spoke to both the council and the Gardaí back at the end of September on the 29th to raise a concern just as a parent at this point to say, look, if we can't do nothing about the parking, can you at least do something about the flow of traffic? Can you monitor the traffic at least around the points where children are going to and from the school? Because it's unacceptable how people are driving past that school. Now, we only have space, as you probably can see, for about 3 cars that can park at any one point. Now, last week I happened to run a few minutes late for school, and I had to back up onto the main road, so I was one of maybe 3 or 4 additional cars that were parked facing Killygordon coming from Ballybofey. Right. And cars are still coming up that break quite quickly. They're not seeing you to the last minute, and they're flying around you on the wrong side of the road where cars are coming from the traffic lights down. So it is a bit of a concern, especially when you have small children. And like I say, I raised those concerns just with the Gardaí and the council, and to this point I've had no response. Now, the Gardaí told me that they would send out the traffic division just to do some speed awareness, just to create a visible presence, just to try and slow down cars, but to date there's been none of that. Now, as you touched on yesterday, with Rafo and some of the other schools, they've obviously got all this new work done where there's speed bumps, new lights, and all the new tarmacking and pavements. But as Diana said, like myself, I'm coming from Rafo every day. We don't have that facility where we can just kind of walk to school with the safety and the high vis. We don't have that. So it's paramount that we look at a better parking infrastructure, a better drop-off point, and certainly more awareness around the school to at least tell people that there's a school there, because our school is set back maybe 20 or 30 feet from the main road itself. So just... and in fact as well, even a basic is we don't have yellow boxes to pull in and out of the school. So if we were coming from Killygordon traffic lights to turn right into the school, we would have to sit there while the traffic's blocked up one side, and then the parents are blocking it up another side, because there's nowhere safe to turn, no way to come in and out of that traffic. So there is a couple of things that need to be addressed, and certainly, hopefully by bringing it to Highland Radio, that the council and the guards and whoever else is involved can just look at this and go, yes, we're a small school, but we need that voice. We need that someone just to speak up and just be a little bit more...
I'm kind of conscious that this is sort of Wednesday on Christmas week as well. It is an issue, if nothing happens, that I would really like to return to in the new year as well. Because
Greg,
obviously
you know
we'll
what?
be off air for a bit. So, I would like to come back to this if nothing improves.
Absolutely. I would invite you to the school at 9 o'clock and 2 and 3 o'clock, and you can commentate yourself. Even just standing there, you'll see the amount of drivers that are on their phone. How many of them are just not taking care of going past the school? And it's frightening, because one of these days, because somebody won't do anything, one of these poor children are going to dart out because there's no safety measures in place, really, for parking. And one of these kids are going to run out and they're going to get hit, and we don't want that to happen.
God forbid. I know exactly what you're saying, but we have to talk about it. Shelley Gillespie is with us as well. Shelley, good morning.
Hi, Greg. How are you?
I'm okay. We're covering a lot here, but we just want as many voices as possible to emphasise the importance of this to the local area, Shelley. So I presume you're echoing a lot of what we've heard from Diane.
Absolutely. Well, first, just to say, first and foremost, Killygordon National School is a fantastic school. Yes. I've been involved with the school now for over 12 years. I have 2 children that have gone through it. So this wasn't an issue for me when I first started with the school. It wasn't as busy, but I have a daughter now in 5th class. So in a sense, she's street savvy, Greg. She can walk down and watch out for where I am. But as Jamesy said, he has young children, and he also has children sitting in a car that he can't just leave and walk 2 lanes of traffic across to collect his other children. So this isn't something that's just going to be an overnight, it's going to just be solved. This has to be a community effort with the guards, with the councillors, with road safety. It needs to be a whole, multidisciplinary approach to solving this, because this school isn't going anywhere. It's on a main busy road, as Diana says, and it needs to be looked about before something crucially happens. And that's not what we want to happen.
And we also have to look at the reality of driver behaviour, right? Traffic coming from, I presume it's the Ballybofey side.
Absolutely. Well, you've got the Ballybofey side, and you've also got the junction heading into Killygordon. Of course. And there's a lot of lorries there from businesses, from the creamery. There's a lot of activity, and you've got people coming in off a main off a main road into this junction, and there isn't that. Yep. We can put up as many signs as we can saying "slow down, children" here, but it is an extremely busy junction.
Yeah, and what I was going to say though is that it switches from 100 to 50. Not very far in front of the school. You can't see the school. And I would say the reality is most drivers keep the foot down till they see that stop sign or the traffic lights. And at that stage, they're up on top of the school. I think that's sort of a basic read of probably your average driver behaviour. And that's really...
you've got it in one, Greg. As well as that, you've got the bus Erin bus stop directly in front of the school. So when people are waiting to get on the bus, that bus has to stop on the main road to let passengers on. Then you've got people then deciding, well, they'll know better than the bus, and they'll try to overtake that. Yeah. All meanwhile, we're trying to get our children safely from the school, and it's just not good enough.
Diane, where do we go from here in terms of, we'll make representations, of course, and I think it's important too that we hear from local public representatives on this issue. But Dan, obviously it's a busy school, it's a popular school, it's very well run. We all know that. But what needs to happen next, do you think, for road safety, for everyone involved to be improved? There has to be some traffic calming measures. As I say, the way the road's laid out, people are going to be going past that school until they see that stop sign or the traffic lights, probably at 60, 70, 80 kilometres per hour.
Yeah, absolutely, Greg. And you've really captured, I suppose, our location very well there. There is a programme, the Safe Routes to Schools programme, and it's a great scheme, but it's like everything, it seems to be in this country. You have to apply for it. There's paperwork. Not everyone gets included in it. I'd love a wee bit of a multidisciplinary approach, as Shelley mentioned, with the Gardaí and the RSA. Like they have a programme here. They have safe systems approach towards Vision Zero, where they want, eliminating deaths and serious injuries and road traffic crashes. And one of their priorities is school zones and implementing school zones. Mm-hmm. I would love someone to come out on site and really look at it. And I suppose give us a wee bit of an individualised approach. Yeah. Till we see what kind of problem solving we can come up with. Because, again, there is a bus stop outside the school. We want to make sure that all that infrastructure is still available to people in the village. So, I do think it's a community approach.
Right, I want to come back to this, as I say, in the new year, if nothing,
that would be
if there's no advances,
yeah.
But I think it's just important to get it on the record now. James, thanks for your time. I really appreciate it. Shelley, you as well, and Diana's principal of the school. Really appreciate all of your inputs there. Okay, back with the weather after these.
The 9 till noon show with Letterkenny Credit Union, now offering mortgages from €40,000 to €600,000 with no hidden fees or transaction charges. Letterkenny Credit Union, 9102127.
Do you need a UK address? Save hundreds of euros on custom charges shopping online with Space Hub Dairy. We provide a full virtual address mailbox service for all your business and personal use. Save hundreds, possibly thousands, on custom charges with Space Hub Dairy. Call 048 71 87 8077 or online spacehubdairy.com for more details.
Mr. Blue Sky, tell us what. The Lotto jackpot is an estimated €9.2 million. Play responsibly in store, in app, or at lottery.ie. The National Lottery. It could be you.
Stay warm for less this winter with Homeland. Valcas Energy Wood Pellets 10 kg. Buy 10 bags, get one free. Kiln-dried softwood logs. Buy 2 bags for €14. Nationwide delivery available. Shop in store or online at homeland.ie.
Celebrate birthdays, anniversaries, engagements, farewells or retirements at St Eunan's GAA Clubhouse Bar and Reception Area. For details, contact St Eunan's GAA Clubhouse on 086 325 2830. Your perfect venue for memorable occasions.
Christmas gift ideas at the Clanry Hotel Letterkenny. The Three Amigos in concert on January 23rd. Tickets only €35 from reception. Sunday the 28th of January, Nathan Carter in concert. Tickets only €30 from reception. Gift vouchers also available at the Clanry Hotel Letterkenny.
Make their Christmas electric with gifts from Curry's. Get the Nintendo Switch OLED with Mario Kart 8 and 3-month online membership for only $349. Or save €50 on the Samsung Galaxy Watch 4 with Bluetooth connection, now only $179. Shop in store or online at currys.ie.
Get ready for the sale of the century at Crawford Tiles Castlefin. Unbelievable deals starting Wednesday the 27th of December. 20% off all tiles and bathware in store. Free standard underlay with all wooden floors. Fitters and delivery service available. That's Crawford Tiles' big January sale starts December 27th. Call 91-43942.
And now the Highland Forecast, brought to you by Shop LK. Widespread Christmas shopping this December in Letterkenny. See shoplk.ie or like us on Facebook.
You know, I don't have the weather forecast open, so I'm going to just speak and pretend that I do until such time as I do have it open. All I do know, though, is the weather's not going to be very pleasant, outdoors at least, over the next couple of days here in the northwest. More specifically, though, mostly cloudy and breezy or rather windy today with outbreaks of rain and drizzle with a few heavier bursts likely. Milder than yesterday with temperatures of 9 to 11 degrees in fresh to strong and gusty west to northwest winds. And tomorrow, there's a yellow wind warning for tomorrow. It's going to get quite breezy for a couple of days here across the northwest. All right, coming up after 10 o'clock, we are going to be going live to Port Nabla, where we'll be hooking up with Tommy and Sinead and Joe and the team. They are broadcasting live from Hillcrest Nursing Home. They're really looking forward to that. We're going to get another couple of songs from Sinead and loads more coming up as well. Also, we'll be pausing the lines on our car draw at 11 o'clock because between 11 and 12 we're going to give away €1,000, fingers crossed, on this show. We only have 3 more of the 1,000 draws to go before the car's given away. It's all very exciting, but if you want to be in with a chance to win one of those €3,000 prizes or the car, you need to get your tickets before 11. You can give us a call here on 07491 25,000. We'll sort you out before 11. Ideally, the website highlandradio.com. Fast, safe and secure there as well. Or indeed, if you're in and around Letterkenny, you can always call in and we will facilitate you. Right, let's take a break for the news and obituary notices. Much more on the way.
The 9 till noon show is brought to you by Letterkenny Credit Union, with monster loans available up to €60,000 for all occasions. Visit letterkennycu.ie.
The Three Amigos, Jimmy Buckley, Robert Mazzell and Patrick Feeney, are back on tour with their award-winning live show. See The Three Amigos live. Conry Hotel, Letterkenny, Tuesday, January 23rd. Tickets, priced €35, are now on sale at the hotel reception and ticketmaster.ie, where extra charges may apply.
Happy Christmas from The Three Amigos!
Join Marty Friel this and every Friday night from 8 for Rockin' Hits on Highland Radio, in association with Arena 7 Letterkenny. Arena 7 gift cards are the perfect gift for the whole family and can be used across the Arena 7 complex. Visit arena7.ie.
Raymond Sweeney here from Ben Sweeney Euronics to let you know we have a great range of Ninja appliances available for Christmas. They include the new Ninja Foodie Max dual zone air fryer, which has a large 9.5 litre capacity and 6 cooking functions, so you can cook 2 different foods 2 different ways with both ready at the same time. Also the new Ninja Flexi Drawer with a large 10.4 litre capacity. See our great range of Ninja appliances in store at Ben Sweeney Euronics, Port Road, Letterkenny, and the shopping centre Dunlow.
Well, hello there. Ty here. Cozy up there and I'll tell you a bit about myself. See, I'm a super efficient heat pump. Just landed in new digs and I'm keeping it warm using clean energy. Thanks to me and the home energy upgrade, we now have a warmer and healthier home. Want to make a clean switch from fossil fuels? Search SEAI Home Energy Upgrade for a significant government grant for heat pumps. Reduce your use and discover a new world of comfort and savings. Supported by the Government of Ireland.
While everyone's obsessing about the Christmas season, you've got a different season on your mind. One where red noses come from shouting your support in the crisp, cold, pitchside air. Where the roaring fire is in your belly, not your sitting room. And the perfect gift is an unexpected win. Don't miss a moment with a GAA season ticket. A gift for yourself or the fan in your life. Available at gaa.ie/season ticket. Are you in? The GAA, where we all belong.
Live, on air, online and on the Highland Radio app. This is Highland Radio News.
Good morning, just gone 10 o'clock. Donald Kavanagh at the Highland Radio News Desk. Donegal County Council's Strategic Planning Policy Committee has been told it's important people realise accommodation centres for refugees are being developed under special dispensation from the government, and the council has no involvement in giving those developments the go-ahead. Councillor Jerry McMonigal pointed out this week that former retail premises and derelict buildings are being developed as accommodation centres for Ukrainians or those seeking international protection. And in many cases, he says, what's being created are cramped living quarters which cram in as many people as possible to increase the owner's profit margins. Councillor McMonigal says more must be done to stop that from happening.
There's planning exemptions for anybody who's turning former retail or derelict buildings into accommodation for the purpose of housing refugees, whether it be IPAS or Ukrainians. What I'm saying here today is that that's okay, but what we're doing is allowing people to make an awful lot of money and cram as many people as they possibly can into small premises, and this isn't good enough. These are human beings at the end of the day, and they need to be treated properly.
4 people have been killed by roaming dogs in Baltony, Gortha Hork between Monday night and Tuesday morning last. As a result, other sheep in the flock have begun aborting lambs because of the stress of the ordeal. It comes just a day after Gardaí warned of sheep thefts in the same area. Well, a short time ago on the 9 till noon show, the Cathaoirleach of the Glenties Municipal District, Michael McClafferty, told Greg Hughes that the family will lose out on thousands of euro as a result of what's happened.
This bill is going to run to thousands of euros, and the reality is as well, on these yokes that abort their lambs, there's no guarantee that they will come out of this trauma that they're in either, to be fair. The farmers had literally, several thousand euro here immediately, whatever it adds up to going forward when the final tally be done, when we know the extent of the trauma and everything else.
For points during the day. Then road safety is obviously a huge concern, and as you've mentioned already, you're looking at it on Google Maps. Now, I'm there, as I say.
The Garda Representative Association says there are serious shortfalls in the basics of policing in Ireland. It's emerged there were communication failures on the night of the Dublin riots, with the Central Control Room unable to speak directly with the Public Order Unit. Donegal-based GRA President Brendan O'Connor says major emergencies are something that any police service should be able to deal with.
We have inadequate equipment that's not up to speed with what's standard issue across the world, that members are relying on informal networks of communication, that they don't know at the time of an emergency what is proper communications protocol, what channels they should go on. The people in control rooms don't know what resources they have available to them. I hate to use the word, but it's frightening for the public, but it's shambolic.
A number of new laws on the roads are moving a step closer. Ministers are set to approve the publication of a new bill to legislate for a number of offences, including default speed limits. Stephanie Rowan reports from this morning's Cabinet meeting at government buildings.
These proposed laws tackle 3 areas: speed limits, drink and drug driving and penalty points. The legislation would see default limits coming into force, meaning that, for example, in built-up areas there would be a 30 km/h limit. The laws would also make drug testing mandatory at the scene of a serious collision. The legislation would also allow for the application of multiple penalty points in a single stop when more than one offence is committed. There are also plans to have higher penalty points on bank holiday weekends, but that's not happening for now, as the proposed laws need more scrutiny.
The HSE is to hold free nasal flu vaccine walk-in clinics for children after a rapid rise in cases around the country. In total, cases have increased from 170 to 283 for all ages. There's been a rise mainly in those 4 and under. Walk-in clinics will be available from December 28th and 29th for 2 to 17-year-old. Clinics will operate in Letterkenny on December 28th and in Buncrana, Donegal Town and Dunloe on December 29th. Full details are available on our website, highlandradio.com. And Donald Trump's team has called it undemocratic to block him from appearing on ballot papers for presidential re-election in Colorado. The former US president is hoping to be selected as the Republican candidate, but the state's Supreme Court has ruled him ineligible over his links to the storming of Washington's Capitol building in 2021. He's not been found guilty of anything. Political commentator Scotty Neil Hughes says the row is about electoral integrity, and even Mr. Trump's opponents say this is wrong.
Here's the real surprise. The second to Trump's defense, Chris Christie, probably one of the largest criticizers of Donald Trump. He says, I don't want a Supreme Court or political action to take Donald Trump out. I want the voters to be the ones who take Donald Trump out.
Well, the forecast mostly cloudy and breezy and windy today with outbreaks of rain and drizzle. Some heavier bursts likely, milder than yesterday with top temperatures 9 to 11 degrees Celsius in fresh to strong and gusty west to northwest winds. And that's Highland Radio News. We're back with news headlines again at 11. You can keep up with today's news, of course, on our website, highlandradio.com. But for now, from the news team, good morning.
The obituary notices this Wednesday morning, December 20th. The death has taken place in Stroud, Gloucestershire in England on the 15th of December of Michael Mike Doherty, formerly of Glentocher, Carndonagh. A mass will be offered in the Holy Family Church, Ballymacroarty, Derry on Friday at 7:15 in his memory. Everyone is welcome. The death has taken place of Paul Mooney, Joppama Glen Lower, Ramelton. Paul is reposing at the family home. Wake today and tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Requiem Mass on Friday morning at 11 a.m. in St Mary's Church, Ramelton, with burial afterwards in the adjoining cemetery. Mass can be viewed live on churchservices.tv. Family time on the morning of the funeral, please. Family flowers only. Donations if desired to Elevate 55 The Loft, care of any family member or Patrick Sweeney Funeral Directors. The death has taken place in Clydebank of Noel Loughlin, formerly from Ard O'Donnell Letterkenny. Noel's remains are reposing at his daughter Geraldine's residence, 43 Brookfield Heights, Carnamugga Lower, Letterkenny, today from 9 p.m. until 11 p.m. Funeral from there tomorrow, going at 10:15 a.m. to St Eunan's Cathedral for 11 a.m. Mass for the repose of his soul, which can be viewed on churchservices.tv. Interment afterwards in St Columba's Church Cemetery at Massmount Fanad. Family time on the morning of the funeral, please. The death has taken place of Ray Whitehouse, Ramacra Glebe, Carndonagh. Ray's remains are reposing at his home. Funeral for Ray will take place tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. in the Church of the Sacred Heart, Carndonagh, followed by burial in St Mary's Graveyard, Clonmany. Family time, please, in the morning of the funeral. Funeral Mass can be viewed live on churchmedia.tv. The death has occurred of Margaret McElhaney, Binion, Clonmany. Her remains are reposing at the home of her daughter Breed and son-in-law Danny Grant, Tornabratley, Clonmany. House private to family, close friends and neighbours only, please. Funeral from there tomorrow morning at 10:20 a.m. Going to St Mary's Church, Clonmany for Requiem Mass at 11 a.m. Interment afterwards in the adjoining cemetery. Margaret's funeral mass can be viewed live on churchservices.tv. The death has taken place of Kathleen Graham Nee Mullen, 38 Churchview Strabane, remains reposing at her home. Funeral leaving her home tomorrow morning at 9:25 a.m. for Requiem Mass in the Church of the Immaculate Conception Strabane at 10 a.m. Interment afterwards in St Patrick's Cemetery, Killina, Dunnamana. Donations in lieu of flowers, please, to the Foyle Hospice, care of Quigley Funeral Directors. Family time from 11 p.m. tonight. The Requiem Mass can be viewed live via the parish webcam. The death has taken place of Nathaniel Buchanan, Cheerham in Milford. Remains reposing at his home with a wake today. Funeral service tomorrow afternoon at 1 p.m. in Milford Presbyterian Church, followed by committal in the adjoining cemetery. The funeral service can be viewed on Patrick Sweeney, Funeral Director's Facebook page. Family time on the morning of the funeral. Family flowers only. Donations, if desired, to the Alzheimer's Society of Ireland and Donegal Hospice, care of Patrick Sweeney, Funeral Directors. The death has taken place of Eamon Cunningham, 8 Ivy Terrace, Derry. Funeral from his home this afternoon at 12:30 for 1 o'clock Requiem Mass in St Columba's Church, Longtower. Interment after in St Mary's Cemetery, Ardmore. Family flowers only, please. Donations in lieu of flowers, if wished, to Cancer Fund for Children, Portside Business Park, Airport Road West, Belfast. The death has taken place of Maureen Boyle, Nee Doherty, Manor Cunningham, and formerly from the Curragh, Killygordon. Funeral from her late residence this morning at 10:15, going to All Saints Church, Newton Cunningham, for 11 a.m. Requiem Mass, which can be viewed live on churchservices.tv. Interment afterwards in St Columba's Church Cemetery, Dromahul. Family time, please, this morning. Family flowers only, please. Donations in lieu of flowers, if desired, to Cancer Care West, care of any family member. For family information and more details regarding wakes and funerals, please go to highlandradio.com.
So listen, I have a question about Secret Santa.
It's secret, remember?
I know, yeah, I know. What size socks are you again?
This Christmas at your local Londis, pick up Heineken 12-pack bottles, only $14.95. Get 1.75-litre bottles of Club Orange, Lemon, Rock Shandy and Orange Zero for just $1.75. And buy a pack of O'Dwyer's Christmas cake slices and get one free. Londis, local like you. Offers end 24th of December at participating stores while stocks last. Please enjoy alcohol responsibly.
The county's #1 talk show, the 9 till noon show on Highland Radio.
And you're very welcome back to the programme. It's great to have you on board this Wednesday of Christmas week. Coming up very shortly, we'll be crossing over to the Lake House Nursing Home in Dunfanny. I used the wrong name just before 10, sorry. I was just going off the top of my head, which is never a good idea. But Tommy and Sinead and the crew are in situ. We're looking forward to a bit of music and great chat That's from the Lake House Nursing Home in Donaghy, around about 10:30. Just one more reminder for you that we're pausing the lines on our car draw at 11 o'clock today, because between 11 and 12 we are hopefully giving away €1,000. We're going to be calling a lucky listener, someone who's taken part in the draw. Hopefully they'll pick up their phone and win €1,000. There's only 3 more €1,000 to go, but still only 3. It's still 3 chances to win €1,000 and a 30,000 plus car. If you want to get into those 4 draws, you have about 45 minutes. Go onto our website. It is highlandradio.com. It's secure and safe for you to do that way. But if you want to give us a call, we have our team here taking your calls, 07491 25,000. We'll get you in all 4 draws if you're in us over the next 3/4 of an hour. And of course, too, if you're in Letterkenny, you can call up and say hello, and we'll sort you out that way. Right, lots of comments coming in on the Killygordon traffic lights, school safety situation. And also on cars with very bright lights. So let's go through some of them. Majority of cars, the bulbs are in wrong. I'm a mechanic. The bulb is in upside down. The light is then shining up instead of down. Okay. I have the same problem. LED lights are blinding. With the RSA test, all lights should have the same standard of bulbs, just so we're not being blinded by different bulbs. But you see, I think really what the RSA seem to have a responsibility to is the pitch of the lights. But if you're driving a low car and you've got a certain pitch, now correct me if I'm wrong, and then you've got a higher car, but also too, you can, on a lot of cars now, there's a little dial that you can adjust the lights, the brightness of them, and I think the drivers put them up full, and it is very blinding. Now, I could be reading it wrong, but that's the kind of experience I have. I have the same problem. They also have LED spotlights for fog on, and it's not foggy, no need for it, and they're blinding others as well. Indeed, that can be quite a distraction. The lighting regulations of vehicles need to be overhauled. Up until now, the brightness was regulated by wattage. The maximum wattage for main beam is 60 watts and 55 watts for dipped beam. Today's LED lights of this wattage are much brighter. Therefore, the lighting of the vehicle regulations need to be changed to limit the humans of a vehicle headlight. Previously, if you had bulbs of higher wattage than 60 or 55 fitted to your car, it would fail the NCT. Modern LED bulbs can circumvent this regulation by being below the legal wattage. I agree that these blinding white lights should be made illegal. They could well be the cause of collisions on our roads, and unless we gather that data, we simply would not know, would we? Hi, Greg. My sister's car automatically dips the light, but I've noticed when sitting on with her that the car doesn't actually dip until the upcoming vehicle is very close. Also, please plead with drivers to use their indicators. The amount of near collisions is ridiculous just because people can't be bothered to indicate. Yeah, indeed. You see, like if you're approaching a corner and you see a car coming and you dip your lights manually. Now, the car I drive does automatically dip them and it seems pretty good, but I'm going to be more conscious of this going forward. When the car's doing it itself, and it depends on how good the car is doing, it does need to see the lights, and they can be really quite close. A caller says, that is a great point about SUVs blinding you, Greg. Does the NCT take this factor into account? I wonder. I don't believe they do. But we have some, I know we have people working in the NCT that listen to the show. Maybe they can let us know their read of it, maybe give us an understanding of how that all works. Another caller agrees with Tom, 100%. It's not just new cars, it's old cars as well. So you can buy these lights anywhere. You can indeed. When I talked about new cars, I'm talking about an awful lot of them are high. Some of them actually have the headlights high in the high car as is, but also this automatic dipping, flashing is, I think it's a factor, and I only chucked that in as part of the conversation. Hi, Tom is right about these lights on cars. My God, they do blind you for sure. I think the RSA need to get a grip on this. If people need these lights on, they should not be driving. And back to Killygordon School now. Why hasn't the school a pedestrian crossing? There is a bus stop there, and I think a crossing would at least slow the traffic down. Indeed, but it's just the speed with which the traffic can come in that road. Quite a concern. And I presume it's the responsibility of the TAI for that road. I went past that school in Killygordon yesterday and remarked a car was parked on the footpath outside that school. I can understand why it might be. There are 3 bays, effectively, for cars to park outside that national school. And maybe people, I don't know, people will park wherever they can, I suppose. Listening to your show, Donegal School in Liscooley is equally as dangerous as Killygordon. Hi, I'd like to express my concerns re the drop-off parking area for children attending Killygordon National School. It's the main street in Killygordon. We've raised this issue numerous times. We seem to hit a brick wall. A bus stop appeared. No consultation with School Box Junction. They were removed. No consultation. We fear for the safety of our children. The speed at which traffic goes outside our school is scary, to say the least. It is an accident waiting to happen. Thank you for taking the time to highlight our concerns. And I'm not being pernickety and I'm not correcting you, but it's not an accident waiting to happen. It's a death waiting to happen, or it's a serious injury waiting to happen. An accident would suggest that there is no sort of, there is no contributing factors. And I really think it's important that we really factor in road conditions, road safety as a feature of road traffic collisions. And, we can do our bit as best we can as drivers to keep our cars safe, to do the NCT, to be insured, to be tested, to be careful, right? But we also should have an expectation that the road and the road infrastructure meets us halfway. And that's why I'm sort of picking you up on the word accident. If you get me, I would use it too. And as I say, I'm not being semantic, but, if something happened there, I think we'd probably find that the road could have contributed to it, if that makes sense. Now there are over 200 in the school, and that adds teaching staff, etc. What has the school done to get work done to meet the increase in pupils? Well, they're campaigning all the time. And listen, by the time the likes of a school principal will come and speak to us, or parents would sort of say, look, we need to raise this issue. By the time you get to that point, it's for a reason. And it's probably because they feel they're not getting anywhere elsewhere. So it's not like they've just said, right, let's call Greg. They've been at this a long time, worried about it a long time, and they've gone, right, okay, we need to get a bit of publicity on this. And as I say, I'm going to return to this in the new year. I don't want this to be buried in Christmas and the new year. This is really important, and I would feel responsible if we didn't discuss this further if something happened to one of those beautiful, innocent children. Killygordon National School is on the busy N15 and needs a bigger drop-off area and yellow boxes at the entrance and exit. It very easily gets blocked up and parents then park on the side of the busy road. Hi, Greg. As regards the school on the main street in Killygordon, there is no adequate parking for school staff and we have to park along the roadside, which is dangerous and may cause obstructions or accidents. That comes from someone working in the school. Yeah, indeed. And you, as a worker there, are entitled to sort of safe parking as well, I'd imagine. Listen, really busy on the phone lines today. Thanks so much for keeping us updated on your views. Loads to come on the show, but first, let's take a break for the obituary notices.
It's time for Vision Ireland Bingo on Highland Radio.
It's Wednesday, the 20th of December. You're playing on the blue sheet. The reference number is S13. It's game number 51. The numbers are 60, 58, 40, 41, 70, 17, 19, 26, 78, and finally 14. Phone your claim to 9104833 before 8 tonight, leaving your name, contact number and the name of the shop where you purchased your book, and we'll call you back the next working day. Get all your Vision Ireland Bingo information at highlandradio.com.
Connect Hearing is open for free hearing tests. Our audiologist is available Monday to Friday for wax removal services at our Letterkenny Clinic in the Courtyard Shopping Centre. We also offer a home visit for those who aren't able to visit us. Our hearing is our social sense. Are you finding hearing more of a challenge? Call Ursula today on 07491 13296 to make an appointment. Good hearing helps us to connect to our family, friends and loved ones. Connect Hearing, connecting you to life.
New this week in Home Store and More. All fireplace accessories are all half price. But better hurry, because when all our half price fireplace accessories are gone, they're gone. Also, all Casual Living barware accessories are still half price. But when all the half price Casual Living barware accessories are gone, they're definitely gone. Drop by your local Home Store and More, or visit us online at homestoreandmore.ie. New store now open in Frascati Centre, Blackrock, Dublin. Home Store and More. A happy home.
Attention farmers, Alt Nurseries Altupper Castlefin are Department of Agriculture approved and can supply plant passports for your acre scheme. Thorn hedging, tree whips, shelters, hedging, plastic and native Irish apple trees are all available. Also stocking a large range of bare root, potted hedging trees, shrubs and much more. For the best quality at the keenest prices, call Gail at Alt Nurseries Castlefin on 086 306 7346.
The 9 till noon show is brought to you by Letterkenny Credit Union, offering low-rate car loans with fast approval. Apply online at letterkennycu.ie or in office today.
Now, just to remind you, if you want to watch us broadcasting live from the Lake House Nursing Home in Dunfanaghy, don't forget you can go onto YouTube, Highland Radio Ireland. We're live there as we are every day. If you have a smart TV, you'll have the YouTube app. If you have a Fire Stick, you'll have the YouTube app. You can watch it on your big screen if you're at home or across your mobile devices, laptops, tablets, etc., or your mobile phone. And we're on Facebook as well, of course. Highland Hub, Highland Radio News and Sports. So make sure to tune in if you can, if you want to watch it, of course. It's just an option. Good morning, Bernie. Hello from Sydney. Happy Christmas and a super 2024. Overstaying with my daughter until February, but still tuning in as much as I can. Keep up the good work. Bernie, thank you so much, and it's lovely to have you on board. It's summer in Australia at the moment, isn't it? Marie McLaughlin, have a wonderful Christmas, Greg, and all at Highland. Thanks for all the superb entertainment from all the presenters. Thank you so much, Marie, for your lovely comments. Annie, good morning, Greg. Good morning to you, Annie. And also Dolores Dunleavy, a regular watcher of the show. Good morning to you. And Dahi too. Happy Christmas, Greg and crew at Highland. Still want us out of the EU. Dahi, are you feeling the Christmas spirit a little bit there? I do appreciate you are like so many of our listeners. You have your views and we do appreciate them. But it seems to be you're feeling the Christmas love there, which is very nice, Dahi. Good to have you on board. And it is very nice to have on board the show at the moment our next guest, who I'll go to just in a moment. Just to remind you of our telephone numbers, 08660 25000 is the WhatsApp and text, 08660 25000, or call us on 07491 25000. If you wish to email, it's comments@highlandradio.com. But our next guest is Sister Faustina. Good morning to you, Sister. Thank you so very much for your time today.
Good morning, Greg. It's lovely to be with you.
Indeed, and you. And there is a new book out, and sometimes you have to sort of, as an interviewer, come up with some clever questions and try and dig into the, the motivation for a book or what it might mean or how someone might read it and all of that. But here we have a book that really is quite self-explanatory, isn't it? Calm the Soul, a book of simple wisdom and prayer.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Greg. In fact, we have had a lot of positive feedback about the book, and one of the comments was, it does what it says on the cover. So that was very encouraging. But so it actually, the original book came out in 2013, and then the publishers approached us earlier this summer and asked us would we be interested in publishing a 10th anniversary edition. So we thought we would use that opportunity then just to add some more content based on, concerns that people have when they come to the monastery and they're asking for prayers. And, there's been so much upheaval in the world in the last 10 years, and we're actually living through further upheaval, more anxiety about climate change, depression, all kinds of family concerns. So we like to think that the new content reflects some of those concerns, while at the same time recognizing that the original content is still as relevant, if not more relevant than ever, because there's so much challenges that people have to face.
Yes, and it's escaping those challenges, even for a moment of reflection. For some, it could be mindfulness, meditation, whatever it might be. For others, it is prayer, and it's just looking at the words, reflecting on the words, but being in yourself for that moment, because whilst you are in that space, then everything else you would hope you get a break from, if that is an okay way to put it.
It's so true. We hear a lot these days about mental health and how to address the crisis really that's in our country at the moment in terms of people concerned with oppression, depression and that kind of thing. We have soaring rates of suicide, sadly. And so I feel, and we believe that the spiritual side, the peace of, attending to the needs of our soul is really important as well, and of course we have to, use whatever professional help that is available, because we really believe, and we have that in the introduction, in fact, that God uses, others to help us as well. And that includes the professionals, mental health professionals and psychologists and everything else. But I think the main message of the book is that we don't have to face life alone, that God is with us and God is for us. And the whole tone of the book is very conversational. So it's a bit like, having a conversation with a friend, really. So we really try to bring forth that idea of God as our friend and God being for us, and not distant, not like a tyrant who's going to, put little black marks in our book if we put a foot wrong,
Yeah, and I think we also don't we, sister? We also have, dependent on what you're going through, and we've all been through it, things can feel inescapable. But also, too, I think just with everything that's going on in the world, but also internally in the country, I think some of us have begun to survive on a diet of negativity and bad news and feeling a certain way. I go out of my way, particularly given the job that I do, to give myself space away from that. And everyone has different ways of doing it. But I just think it's really important that we don't content ourselves in a sort of like a bath of negativity that's so overwhelming. We have to give ourselves some space. We have to give ourselves a break from it, because everywhere you turn, and particularly, with social media, because we've got the real life and what we might hear and see is bad news. Then we turn to social media, and then we find ourselves engaging in that as well. And then we switch on the news at night. We aren't equipped to deal with that all of the time. And I think we also have to make a conscious effort to try and give ourselves a break and give ourselves some space.
That's absolutely true, Greg. We should have got you involved to co-write this book with us, actually. That's actually what we have in the introduction to the book. We're talking about how all that negativity can impact us, not only in our souls and our minds, but in our bodies too. It is really important to try and zone out of all that negativity that's coming at people all the time. And I suppose at Port Clare's, and we're right in the middle of Galway City, and we really get a sense of the grassroots of the effect of that negative stuff coming at people all the time. And also, it's not just the bad news and the negativity, but also sometimes, anecdotally, we hear stories of people who, put out their best selves on the internet or on their social media things, platforms, and yet can be really carrying deep wounds and sadness and pain inside. And the whole message of Calm the Soul is that we don't have to bear all of that alone, that God is real. And I suppose as Port Clare's and as women who have dedicated our lives to God, we don't just know that conceptually. We experience that. We spend a lot of time each day in prayer and meditation, and it's not a fairy tale. It's so real. And I suppose we just found, and we were so joyful. Joyful that we could share some of that spirituality and conviction that we have through the written word, because we don't actually, in our vocation as Port Clare's, we don't kind of go out too much. We go out for really necessary things, but we don't have what's called an active apostolate, so we don't go out actively evangelizing or going out of the monastery much. So the written word is actually a fantastic way for us to share all of that.
Yes, and of course it is a book, and it is the time of the year for giving. And I think this would be a gift well received by a lot of people. And I don't think, I don't think you have to be incredibly religious to benefit from a lot of the messages here, if you know what I mean, because they're sound messages. They're now obviously it will benefit someone who is a believer, or maybe it might turn them into one. But my point is that, whether you're very religious or not very religious, or regardless of your religion for the most part, it is a time to reflect and a bit of inward thinking and contextualization and what have you. So I think it'd be a really good gift. So I'm going to ask you where people might be able to get a copy of this book. We're right up to Christmas now, so post might be a bit of an issue. Is it being stocked, or is it all online, sister? And what a lovely way to start the new year if you can't get it by Christmas.
Yeah, I fear that it may not be available before Christmas, but it certainly, there are several bookshops online that carry it. I'm not sure about the bookshops in Donegal, but in your kind of catchment area. But I mean, it's available in bookshops. Eason's, Dubray.
We have Eason's. We do have. We have, yes.
Okay.
Sister, we have to
Eason's.
get you to Donegal. We are somewhat advanced. No, I'm only joking.
Well, you know what, Craig? I have Donegal roots now. My mother's from Donegal, and I love Donegal. So
where is your mum from,
Sister
Festina? Where is your mother from?
She's from Inishowen, actually.
Lovely.
Yeah,
okay. Lovely.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful part of the world, of course. Listen, it's been lovely speaking to you. Thank you very much indeed. The book is called Calm the Soul, the book of simple wisdom and prayer. It's from the Paul Clares in Galway. It's an updated 10th anniversary edition as well. And we really appreciate your time. And I hope you have a wonderful Christmas. And thank you for joining us. It's been very pleasant. All right, bye-bye. Take care of yourself. Sister Faustina there, whose mother hails from Inishowen.
Watch the show live now on YouTube, Facebook, and at highlandradio.com. The 9 till Noon Show is brought to you by Letterkenny Credit Union. Digital loans now available. Apply online or via our app today and get your loan transferred directly to your current account.
This Christmas, one Lotto Plus player is guaranteed to become a millionaire. And not just any millionaire, a Christmas millionaire. Just play Lotto with Plus on December 23rd, and that Christmas millionaire could be you. The National Lottery. Play responsibly. Play for fun.
Clare Clothing Letterkenny. We can help you with your Christmas gifting this year. Jewellery, gift vouchers, and 30% discount off Naya. Wishing you a peaceful and happy Christmas from Claire and Lisa.
It's not just that Sammy has had his world torn apart by the conflict. It's not just that he has lost everyone that he ever loved. And it's not just that Sammy is only 7 years old. Right now, children are being forced to live through unimaginable horrors in Gaza and around the world. And it's not just. This Christmas, your help could make all the difference. Visit trocra.org or call 1-800-408-408. Trocra. Together for a just world.
Giving the gift of football at Brian McCormick Sports. New Adidas Euro 24 replica ball. Out now. The #1 football gift this Christmas. Precision grip socks. Match it up with a pair of precision footless socks. The perfect gift for any age. Under Armour and Attack compression tops to be worn under the jerseys. Available in many colours. The perfect Christmas gift for all the family. Click bmcsports.ie.
Hello there. Christmas is the perfect time for saying thank you. And what better way than to give a Harvey's Point gift card. Available from the hotel on 07497 22208 or from harveyspoint.com. It's the gift that keeps on giving all year round. A Harvey's Point gift card.
The winner takes all at the Cope Dunlow's Christmas Advent Countdown. Spend over €50 in any of the Cope stores from now until December 23rd for your chance to win the entire contents of the Advent calendar. Worth over €3,000. T's and C's apply. See in store for details and for daily Advent reveals. See the Cope Dunlow on Facebook.
From everyone at iMotors, we would like to wish all our new and existing customers a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thank you very much for your support throughout 2023. We're looking forward to seeing you in the new year when we reopen on the 2nd of January.
Okay, just to let you know, by the way, Veritas in Letterkenny stock the book Calm the Soul. So fair play, it is available locally. Thank you so very much for getting in touch with us there. Nice present for someone in your life. Right, okay, Greg, a listener to a show. Oh, it says Greg because this is what I'm supposed to say. A listener to the show has made a very generous anonymous donation to Highland Radio to share with the community of the Northwest. Now, we know who they are, but they wish to stay anonymous. So all this week on the 9 till Noon show, we're visiting a number of nursing homes to bring some festive cheer to your family and friends. This morning, we're going live to Lake House Nursing Home, Dunfanaghy. We have Tommy Rosney and Sinead Black, and we can say good morning to them now. Tommy, Sinead, how are you getting
Good
on?
morning, Greg. We are, as you said, in Port Nablad, Dunfanny, in the Lake House. Aren't we? Say good morning, everybody. We've a lively bunch here today,
on
don't we,
a
Tommy?
lovely sunny day. I'm thinking of going for a swim when we leave.
Tommy wanted to stop at the beach on the way down the road, Greg, today. We have a lovely, lively bunch here today. And
Sorry, Sinead, why did you want to stop at the beach?
Oh, it's the lovely weather, wasn't it?
Go for a swim.
Go for a swim. And you have a new Christmas jumper on, Tommy, I see, as well.
Yes, I got one that fits this time. This is my own.
Well, the jury's out on that, but yes, I
That's a nice one.
As I was saying, so I'm going to be taking a little bit more of a back seat today, Greg. We have lots of entertainment here and lots of singers and lots of characters here in the lovely nursing home today. So I think, Tommy, we're going to speak to Jennifer first, who is the matron here, Greg.
Jennifer, come over here and say hello to us. What do you think of Jennifer's hat?
Hello everybody, good morning and welcome. We welcome Highland Radio to the Lake House. It's lovely that you are actually here in person because you are always here in voice. Highland Radio is on the Lake House every day, so we're delighted that you are here to share this with us today.
Come here, Jennifer, you have a busy schedule now over the next couple of days, have you?
Yeah, Christmas is kind of started here in the Lake House the beginning of December. Our Christmas trees and decorations go up. We've had schools and singing carols, which has just been brilliant. Fulcara, PCC, and the National School in Creasla. And we've had our own residence party here, which Sinead's dad played music at, Alex, and we had a great day that day. So we've a lot lined up now, a lot of carol singing and a party on Christmas Eve.
Tommy, do you mind, what is the favourite radio show? We have obviously Highland on in the Lake House Nursing Home all day. Is there a particular favourite radio show? I'm just you didn't ask that question.
Tommy Ross.
No, Greg, you're getting yourself in big bother.
I'm sorry, Greg, but definitely the most popular country show here in Highland Radio is the Sunday morning show.
There you go, Tommy.
They love to hear the music on Sunday morning.
It is a beautiful show. It is a beautiful show, no doubt.
Yeah.
The only reason they don't hear me, they all be in bed.
And you sound like you're in bed half the time, Tommy.
Greg, I just want to tell you, Jennifer's actually my cousin.
Oh, lovely.
And I see, we be here, myself and Dad, quite a bit. But I don't speak on behalf, I speak on behalf of my own personal family and friends of Jennifer, but just to all nurses and staff in any of that area, I'm sure around Donegal, like we as a family are very proud of Jennifer, and I'm sure all the staff here are as well. So I just want to commend her from a personal note, but as well, like it's not just Jennifer. I see the work that she does and how much she's dedicated to it, and we thank everybody around the Northwest who is working in all these nursing home facilities. I'm sure their family and friends would love to thank them too. So just on behalf of all them, we'll give them all a round of applause during this Christmas period.
And you know, a lovely thing about the last couple of days, and just to echo your point, Sinead, is that has come across with the lovely staff and the smiles and everything as well. So really, we've got a sense of that for those that wouldn't be as aware of it as you might be, of the amazing role all the staff play in people's lives, because it's a relationship.
Absolutely. We're just seeing a little window, and as our viewers are as well today. But there's good times and bad, and of course around the Christmas season when we all want to be with family, these people come out in their job and they make it not just their job, but they become family for a lot of people. So just around to everybody who's listening around the Northwest in them roles, we just would like to thank them all from Highland Radio.
Well said, Sinead, I'm telling you.
I'm getting better.
Did you ever think of running for election?
I might. Would you vote for me?
I definitely would.
Well, think about it.
Would.
Well, you see, Sinead's good at telling the truth, but if she ran for election, then she'd have to start telling the odd. She'd have to start telling the odd fib. Hey, it is the Night Lude Show. Go on, guys, take it away, Tommy. Who else have you got? Or you finished your chat?
Yes, I have a lovely lady here from Bury Island. Teresa, how are you doing? It's lovely to talk to you. How are you keeping?
No, not too well.
You're not too well. Of course, sure. They have a great crowd here looking after you.
Mm-hmm.
Come here, I believe you're a fine singer as well.
Well, I think that.
Come here, will you give us a few bars, will you? Go on. Christmas.
Oh, we have.
Yeah?
What was the name of the song, Geraldine, she was going to sing?
I'll just give her a wee bar. We'll start off together. You ready?
Aye.
In the town of Killalay,
Every month of May, when the heather and the roses were in bloom, a young maiden passed me by, and she gave me the glad eye. In the bright silvery light of the moon.
Big round of applause for Teresa there, I'm telling you.
Brilliant.
I say she'd have been some singer in her day, definitely.
Oh, she still is,
definitely.
Tommy, absolutely.
Before we have a song from Sinead, have any of you heard Sinead sing?
Yes.
Well, we're going to have one from Sinead in a minute, but we want to go down here and talk to Mary. Mary, how are you? How are you keeping?
Fine.
Where are you from, Mary?
Right, Grosofalcara.
Good old spot, Fry Valka. How long have you been in the home here?
Pardon?
How long have you been a resident here in the nursing home?
Right.
No, here in the nursing home. How long have you been here?
Pardon?
How long have you been here in the nursing home where we are now?
I must be 22 weeks.
Good. And are they looking after you well?
Very well, very nice. You could not get any nicer nurses or doctors. They're
Well,
very...
Jennifer and them look really good. I tell you, they do a great job here, don't they?
Very good. Pardon?
Jennifer and the girls do a great job.
I'm a wee bit deaf, you know, in one ear.
You're all right.
And I have to get another hearing in. I lost the left one, so when I get that one, I'll hear a lot clearer.
Well, come here, you're going to hear Sinead singing our song
Well,
now.
Tommy, actually, Mary loves Brady Gallagher, and we are in Brady Gallagher
Country.
territory today.
Right.
So the residents here put me on the spot now, but we're going to have a few selections of, if that's okay with you, Greg.
Oh, yes, I can't wait.
So Mary might actually give me a hand, and the residents. So we're going to do a few little songs by the late, great Brady Gallagher. You can sing along at home too.
And if anybody feels like dancing, it's an old-time waltz. And if you don't, it's still an old-time waltz.
Dear Danny, I'm taking the pen in my hand to tell you you're just outside of the land. In that big ocean liner, we're sailing in style, and we're sailing away from the Emerald Isle. As the rain sort of soil seems to come from us all, as the waves hit the last bit of golden eagle. Sure, it's great to be you that is taking your tea where they're cutting the corn around Carissa today. Ah, goodbye to you, Danny, there's no more to be said, for I think the salt water's gone right to me head. And the faith in my eyes I tore to my mind the friends and the colleagues that I leave behind. And sure Katie herself when she bade me goodbye. A justice like this brings a tear to your eye, and a break in your heart as she said you might stay. Please God, I'll come back to Carissa someday. It's just a year ago today I left old Erin's arm. My heart is throbbing in the spotlight of my colleague's smile. In all my dreams I seem to hear her sweet voice, soft and low. I know she's waiting where we say goodbye in old Mayo. Let's hear y'all sing now, come on. And two Irish eyes are shining, and an Irish heart is pining, where I kissed her and caressed her in the gloaming long ago. Loving Irish eyes would bless me, and true Irish love caress me. Sure, Irish lips will bless me when it's now. And this lady might help me sing the song, Tommy.
Yeah, go on, Mary.
As an Irish boy was leaving, leaving his own native home.
Come on, Mary, sing up.
Crossing the broad Atlantic, once more she'd wish to roam. Nearly there, Mary. And as she was leaving his mother, while standing on the quay, he threw his arms around her waist, and these are the words he did say all together. A mother's love's a blessing, no matter where you roam. Keep her while she's living, for you'll miss her when she's gone. Love her as in childhood, or feeble, alone and gray, for you'll never miss your mother's love, till she's buried beneath the clay. For you'll never miss your mother's love, till she's buried beneath the clay. Ah, give yourselves a round of applause.
Yay,
What about Mary?
gone.
What about Mary?
Fantastic stuff. All right, that's Sinead Black, Tommy Rosney. We're going to be back to them for more from the Lake House Nursing Home in Dunfanny after this quick break.
The 9 till noon show with Letterkenny Credit Union. Simplify your debts with a debt consolidation loan from Letterkenny Credit Union. Call us on 074 910 2126 or apply online via our app or in office today.
A message from Donegal County Council and the Donegal Road Safety Working Group. This Christmas and New Year, the main message to all motorists is never ever drink or drug drive, because the consequences for you and others is life-changing. At best, you could risk losing your licence. At worst, you could be responsible for someone's death or serious injury. Remember, if you drink or have taken drugs, never drive. Even one drink will affect your driving. Plan alternative ways to get home before you go out. Designate someone who has not been drinking or taken drugs. Arrange a taxi. Ask a parent or another driver to pick you up. Let's make our roads safer for everyone.
Do you need a UK address? Save hundreds of euros on custom charges shopping online with Space Hub Dairy. We provide a full virtual address mailbox service for all your business and personal use. Save hundreds, possibly thousands, on custom charges with Space Hub Dairy. Call 048 71 87 8077 or online spacehubdairy.com for more details.
Mr. Blue Sky, please tell us what. The Lotto jackpot is an estimated €9.2 million. Play responsibly in store, in app, or at lottery.ie. The National Lottery. It could be you.
Stay warm for less this winter with Homeland. 5-pack wood logs buy 3 for €13. Hardwood log crate 450 kg, only €329. Nationwide delivery available. Shop in store or online at homeland.ie.
And now the Highland weather, brought to you by Shop LK. An accumulation of Christmas shoppers will descend on Letterkenny this December. See shoplk.ie or like us on Facebook.
Okie doke, you're very welcome back to the 9 till noon show, and the weather forecast for the rest of today. Mostly cloudy and breezy, or rather windy, with outbreaks of rain and drizzle, with a few heavier bursts likely. Milder than it felt yesterday, temperatures 9 to 11 degrees. Okay, it's back to the Lake House Nursing Home in Dunfanny. Who are you saying hello to now, Tommy?
Well, Greg, I'm here with a man who's a big Finn Harp supporter, Derek Wilkinson. Derek, how's it going? Are you well?
Not too bad, thanks. Not too bad.
What about the old Harps last season? Kind of a quiet season, hadn't it?
To say leasing, or it was, of all things that happened, it was very hard to listen to, but there again, at least it stayed up.
Yeah, I suppose too, after Ollie been there for so long and a new man coming in, whoever would come in, it was going to take time, because he nearly brought in a whole new team, didn't he?
Well, I mean, all he did brought the near first sick, and the runs we've had over the years, and he had, and it made tremendous seams, and it was hard there, and it was always hard in the future.
Yeah, you've been a harp supporter. How long? You've been working with the harps and been a supporter a long time, haven't you? How many years?
I suppose before the end, and it was about 60 years ago.
Yeah, it's amazing. Do you think they'll ever get over to the new ground over the other side of town?
I question but I think it probably may. But whether we're alive or not to remember it or not remains to be seen.
Yeah, it's been great, for the Northwest having Sligo and Finn Harps and Derry in the league, because, most of the teams in the Premier League now are all Dublin-based teams, aren't they? And apart from Harps, it'd be great to see. I know Harps have been in the First Division now last year, and they'll be in it next year, but it's great when you have themselves Sligo and Derry up in the same division, isn't it? Like they're all local derbies and good crowds.
And you cannot beat for lives like that.
Yeah,
they were unbelievable, and I mean, when Derry and Sligo and fantastic.
Yeah, it's amazing. And all the time I've been in Donegal, people back home used to say to me, "Are you a Harps man or a Sligo man?" And I would support both of them. It's good to see the teams from the Northwest doing the business.
Oh yeah, that means a lot of work, and it's been difficult times.
Yeah.
But I mean, all we managed to live. So
come here, I ask, are you looking forward to the Christmas?
Looking forward to quiet time, and we'll see what things go on, and great times, and a great special man. I was talking the other day to Fran it was very good.
Yeah, it's great. Come here, wishing you a happy Christmas, and we might even see you over in Park sometime in the new season. I see they're changing their time now to 8:15 rather than 8 o'clock.
Yeah, make it a good time, but it'll be all right.
Well, come here, have a great Christmas.
Thank you.
I must go down here and say hello to one more man before I hand you back to Sinead. And John McGee, I think, is down here. John. Joe even. What's between a Joe and a John? Joe, how are you doing?
Oh, not bad.
How are things? Where are you from?
Pardon?
Where are you from? What part of town?
Derry, near Falcara.
Oh, yes. Would you have known John Cannon down that part of the world?
No.
John used to be in the Guidour Bar and the Loch Alton at one stage.
I've been in Scotland most of my life, until the accident I had eventually come here 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And I've come right here since. There are a lot I didn't. We've been away so long, you didn't much acquaintance with,
Yeah.
Aye.
Come here, somebody was telling me there might be an old song in you. Is there?
Pardon?
Somebody was telling me you entertained the troops here. Is there an old song in you that you could give us a few bars of? Now, don't show up Sinead, but if you have a few bars, could you sing us a few bars?
And forget it?
What?
He's wanting to go to the other kind of bar.
Sing us a wee song, Joe, would you?
Hey?
Would you
Will you
sing
us a wee song for us?
No, I can't.
Are you?
That's one thing I can't do.
Are you a wee bit like Anne over here? She was looking for. If you give me, she says to me, Greg, if you give me a wee brandy, I'll sing you a wee song.
I think if we all had a brandy, we'd all be singing. Sinead, come here. I have to take a quick break for the news. Can I come back to you after 11, and maybe Sinead, you might sing us another one, and if anyone else to say hello to, that's okay.
We will, of course.
Is that
Take
all
care.
right?
We'll talk to you after
all right,
the news.
stay right where you are, guys. That's Tommy and Sinead live from the Lake House Nursing Home in Dunfanny. We'll be back to Tommy and Sinead to wrap up and get another tune from Sinead after we take a break, and we'll be back with the news after these.
The 9 till noon show with Letterkenny Credit Union, now offering mortgages from €40,000 to €600,000 with no hidden fees or transaction charges. Letterkenny Credit Union, 9102127.
Harkins have been providing customers with quality fireplaces, stoves and electric fires for over 30 years. And now you can experience the elegance of luxurious worktop from Harkins. Their experienced craftsmen can fabricate marble, quartz or granite worktops to your specification. So, if you're planning a new kitchen or bathroom or upgrading your existing one, Harkin Fireplaces can provide a quote for your quartz, marble or granite worktop. Visit their showroom in Ballybogan, Lifford or call 9141109 or visit them online at harkinfireplaces.ie.
Employers, Clever Cards is the only Irish company where you can order digital MasterCards online. Instantly email digital Clever Cards to your employees or contractors. Anywhere, anytime means late delivery never arises. Clever Cards are saved in your mobile phone, so you always know your balance. Small and large businesses use Clever Cards because they are accepted everywhere, online and in-store using Apple Pay or Google Pay contactlessly. First €1,000 tax-free. Order online now from clevercards.com. Clever Cards MasterCards are issued pursuant to Clever Cards interbank agreement with MasterCard. E-money's accessed with Clever Cards MasterCards are safeguarded and regulated by the Central Bank under EU Payment Service regulations. Clever Card is certified by Apple Pay and Google Pay. Terms and conditions apply.
Glenswilly GAA Club Bingo Christmas Special this Wednesday the 20th at 8:30 p.m. 2 chances of winning €500. All other houses €100. All lines €40. This Wednesday at Glenswilly GAA Hall. This ad is sponsored by the Station House Hotel.
Danion seochtaí ísle agus ard chostais fuinneamh, tá sé tábhachtach go bhainnig gach duine te agus foláin sa gheara. Tá sé tábhachtach a hiiscin freisin, go sa bháiltear airgid agus go leidítar an sioncar ar an éráid nuair a thábháiltear fuinneamh. Is bearta maithe iad an thermostat a leidú faoi chéim amháin. Gan faris ardinmh áil tramadóí a úsáid, a chaháin nuair is gá, agus gan an tas a chuir i seomraí nach bhfuil an úsáid. Tá an rialtas ag chuir tacaíochtaí éagsúla ar fáil chun an túlach ar ardailig a leidú. Chun tacaíocht agus cóla a bháil, take with gov.ie/úsáid níos lú. Ó rialtas na Héireann.
Inishowen Credit Union would like to wish all their members a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We appreciate your business and look forward to serving all your financial needs in the new year.
And now, IMRO's 2023 Best Local Original News Programme, The Voice of the Northwest, the 9 till noon show with Greg Hughes.
Okay, we're going to be heading back soon to the Lake House Nursing Home in Dunfanny, but first let's get a news update. It's over now to Donna Marie Doherty.
Thanks, Greg. Good morning. Donegal County Council Strategic Planning Policy Committee has been told it's important that people realise accommodation centres for refugees are being developed under special dispensation from the government, and the council has no involvement in giving those developments the go-ahead. Councillor Jerry McMonigal pointed out this week that former retail premises and derelict buildings are being developed as accommodation centres, and in many cases what's being created are cramped living quarters which cram in as many people as possible to try and increase the owner's profit margins. 4 sheep have been killed by Roman dogs in Gorta Hork between Monday night last and yesterday morning. As a result, other sheep in the flock have begun aborting lambs due to the stress of the ordeal. It comes one day after Gardaí warned of sheep thefts in the same area. Cahirlock of Glenties Municipal District Councillor Michael McClafferty says the family will lose out on thousands of euro as a result on the mouth of Christmas. A body representing the frontline Gardaí says there's a lack of training, a shortfall in equipment and a lack of an overall plan in the force. It follows a review that found members of the Public Order Unit who were responding to looting and riots in Dublin last month could not communicate directly with the Central Control Room. Brendan O'Connor from the Garda Representative Association says Gardaí need to be trained on exactly what to do. A number of new rules of the roads are being discussed at Cabinet this morning. Ministers are expected to sign off on a bill which would see lower speed limits on many roads. The laws would also make drug testing mandatory at the scene of a serious collision. And finally, the HSE is to hold free nasal flu vaccine walk-in clinics for children after a rapid rise in cases. In total, cases have increased from 170 to 283 for all ages, but there's been a rise mainly in those aged 4 and under. The walk-in clinics will be available from December 27th to 29th for 2 to 17-year-olds. They will operate in Letterkenny on December 28th, in Buncrana, Donegal Town and Dunloe on December 29th. There's full details on our website, hydentradio.com. Those are the latest headlines. We'll be back again at 12 o'clock. Till then, good morning.
Thanks, Donna Marie.
This Christmas at Super Value, we have great offers to help you share the magic, like Super Value Signature Taste Fresh Irish Hampshire Ham Fillet, 1.4 kilo, only $10.99. Selected fruit and veg like carrots and Brussels sprouts, 49 cents each. Plus, get money off vouchers every week on the Real Rewards app too. Share the magic this Christmas with Super Value, in store or online.
Now, a little later on, after as we cross back to the Lake House Nursing Home Dunfanny, we're going to be making a presentation, which is a wonderful hamper, and also an envelope containing a donation to the Residents' Comfort Fund. So we'll tell you about that a little later on. But just before we cross back, Nellie McElhenney in the Lake House Nursing Home in Dunfanny. She was 100 a few weeks ago from, excuse me, from her niece Kathleen, Huey and family in Falcara. Happy Christmas to you all. Please play a very special request for Bridie Gallagher's sister Maggie Curran, who's in the Lake House, and to all the residents and staff who do a wonderful job. And that comes in from Maggie Curran's family. Did you know that as you were singing Bridie Gallagher, Sinead, I wonder?
Did you not see me sweating, Greg?
I was thinking you were under the pressure there.
I was.
Well done. Well, it didn't come across as such. Well done on a great show from Sinead and Tommy in the Lake House today, from Margaret and Seamus Cole from Funcara. Lots of people saying fantastic, Sinead, for the singing, and Tommy as well for the presentation. We have an aunt who is 105 in July, Sudi Doherty, who's in the Lake House, wishing her a very, very happy Christmas from May McFadden and her family in Rye, Rathmullen. Okay, so who are we speaking to next,
Back
Tommy?
to Jennifer. Jennifer.
Yeah. I just want to take this opportunity to thank, of course, Highland Radio for coming, but also to wish our own residents here a very, very happy Christmas. So we'll just give the residents themselves a big round of applause. And then, of course, the wonderful team. My name might be the lead, but believe you me, it's not just me. I just want to say a big, big thank you and a very happy Christmas to every single one of the staff here in the Lake House. It wouldn't be the Lake House it is without them, so thank you.
And I hope you can hear me, but how big of an operation is Christmas dinner? Because I presume, I don't know how many turkeys you have to buy, and all the stuffing and the ham and everything else.
Christmas dinner is a big ordeal. We all sit down to a set-up table with wine, and they have a wee sherry in the evening, and then there's a drinks trolley that goes round in the afternoon. So night shift on Christmas night can be quite funny.
Did you hear that?
Or it could be quite calm as well, I suppose, as if everyone is...
What time?
I know.
Maybe down.
We break the shifts up so that the staff can get home for part of their day with their families, but there is some staff, and very young staff, that offer to do the full day on Christmas Day. So it's just incredible to have staff that we have. So
that really is an amazing point, because you do have to have staff there on duty all of the time. Sorry, Sinead, back to you, or Tommy.
Yes. Sinead wants to talk to a lady here, and I'm going to let her talk because she doesn't know the words in the next song, and she had to get help.
Tommy, you weren't supposed to say that on air. No, Greg. I just. Of course, care, and as we're spreading Christmas cheer as well, most definitely I want to speak to Geraldine, because Geraldine and indeed her mum, who be in here sometimes, are activities coordinators, and I just wanted to speak to you, Geraldine, maybe for people who don't be in nursing homes as much. I just think it's lovely. I suppose I get a little bit of an insight, so I wanted to just share it with our listeners today, the activities that goes on in nursing homes. So can you just give us a quick little rundown on that?
The main thing really is it passes the day for everyone, and we have a lot of very good bingo players here in the Lake House Nursing Home. It wouldn't be a day without a game of bingo, but there's so much more. We do art. I'm sure you've noticed when you come in today.
Yeah,
all the residents, they're so talented, especially Joe McGee, actually, that you spoke to. He's a great artist. They do lots of different activities. We have some golfers in the house, so next on the agenda I was thinking of doing a pitch and putt competition. So I think that might be a bit of fun, but it's just something that passes the day and brings joy and fun to the Lake House, you know.
Yeah, and they also, Greg, the ladies here, as you see, looking lovely today, often get their hair done, nails done, and I just think it's lovely to give listeners an insight of what really goes on, and insight with activities and the care and the fun and the joy that that these staff are spreading. And with that, we might just make the little presentation now, and we hope that you enjoy this lovely hamper, and indeed the little small contribution that we'll be making to the Comfort Fund. So we hope that you have a lovely time and do something well with that. Will we do that now, Greg, if that's okay with you?
Yes, of course, go ahead. And just to remind people as to what's facilitating that, we had a listener who wanted to make a donation. They want to remain anonymous, but it's facilitated us visiting a number of nursing homes this week. We're back out on the road tomorrow, of course. So as we speak, Sinead is handing over this hamper, and your biceps are going to be huge by the end of this week, Sinead, because it's very, very generous. And also the lovely envelope too, with a contribution to the Comfort Fund, and it's been handed over there now. Fair play. It looks lovely.
Thank you, Greg. Absolutely. They were laughing at me. I was saying that this hamper is bigger than me. So to that listener who donated this, I think it's a lovely gesture. So to Jennifer, to you, and to all your staff, what about giving that listener a lovely round of applause, everybody? Thank you very much. Now we'll take this off Tommy, because it is quite heavy.
Thank you very much.
Now, Anne, there is no brandy in that hamper, unfortunately. We might leave you with a song, Greg. There's lots of music happening in this nursing home.
And
so
I see there's two microphones in play here. Is this going to be something of a duet here? Is that what's going to happen?
I told you I was taking a back seat today.
Okay.
Geraldine and all the residents are going to. And the staff that have lingered in, you might have noticed we have one or two more staff joined the view here if you are watching us on our social media. So they might even have a wee jive or two. There's a lady standing here in a lovely Christmas uniform.
Well, now, we had some amazing jiving in St. Joseph's yesterday and some amazing hats. Now, what I will say is to the staff at the Lake House Nursing Home, they're matching St. Joseph's in terms of the headwear. They look absolutely fantastic. But it remains to be seen if we can fill that floor. No pressure. All I'm
this
saying
is going to be
is
the star of the show, Greg, here. She knows all the words.
The second verse.
Never you mind, Tommy. Okay, everybody. Dashing through the snow on one horse open sleigh. Come on. O'er the fields we go, just laughing all the way. Bells and bobtails ring, making spirits bright. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one horse. Everybody sing, come on.
Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
Take it away, Geraldine.
Now the ground is wide.
Here we go.
Now the ground is wide. Go at it while you're young. Take the girls tonight, sing that sleighing song. Get a bobtail bay, 240 as its speed. Hitch it to an open sleigh and crack, you take the lead. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Hey, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
Oh, what about that, Greg?
Wow, hey, Sinead, I can see why you didn't take the second verse there, because I'm not sure how many people actually know it word for word.
Take her with us tomorrow.
That was brilliant. Well, listen, I have to say now, if we can't, it's not a competition, but I'll tell you, Lake House Nursing Home, they matched St. Joseph's yesterday. We're in Ramelton tomorrow, so over to you, staff and residents at Ramelton. That's where the tour continues tomorrow. Sinead, thank you so very much as always. Appreciate it. Tommy Rosny, as always, really, really appreciate it. And thanks so much for helping us out in this project. It's been lovely. And I have to say, I hope you realise how uplifting it is to not just listen, but to watch what's going on and see the smiles on people's faces. And to give us, as you said earlier on so well, Sinead, more of an insight as to the fantastic nursing homes that we have right across this region.
Absolutely, Greg. We're going to go now, and me and Anne's going to have some tea, and we're going to keep spreading the Christmas cheer. For anybody that's listening, please do the same. Thank you very much. Take care. And we'll
all right, and listen, I will split a bottle of brandy with her, no problem whatsoever. Okay, take care of yourselves.
See you later.
And thanks to Joe as well, looking after us technically. Really, really appreciate that as well. Rightio, let's take a piece of music heading into the next ad. I know Caroline's probably going to give out to me, but when I hear hear this piece here, because we had a couple of requests for it. And this is, let me see, Deirdre McLaughlin and Callum, and this is their version of Last Christmas.
Christmas, I gave you my heart, but the very next day you gave it away. This year, to save me from tears, I'll give it to someone special.
Once bitten and twice shy, I kept my distance, but you still catch my eye. Tell me, baby, do you recognize me? It's been a year, it doesn't surprise me.
Merry Christmas, I wrapped it up and sent it with a note saying I love you, I meant it. Now I know what a fool I've been, but if you kiss me now, I know you'd fool me again. Last Christmas, I gave you my heart, but the very next day you gave it away. This year, to save me from tears, I'll give it to someone special.
Last Christmas, I gave you my heart, but the very next day you gave it away. This year, to save me from tears, I'll give it to someone special.
A crowded room, friends with the tired eyes. I'm hiding from you and your soul of ice. My God, I thought you were someone to rely on. Me, I guess I was a shoulder to cry on.
A face on a lover with a fire in his heart. A man undercover, but you tore me apart. Ooh, now I found a real love, you'll never fool me again.
Last Christmas, I gave you my heart, but the very next day you gave it away. This year, to save me from tears, I'll give it to someone special.
Last Christmas, I gave you my heart, but the very next day you gave it away. This year, to save me from tears, I'll give it to someone special.
Callum Keaveney there and Deirdre McLaughlin, their version of Last Christmas as requested. And we've still loads to come in the next 45 minutes. Hopefully someone's going to win €1,000. We're going to be calling one of you who entered our car draw. The car is given away on Christmas Eve. Well, not Christmas Eve. It's kind of our Christmas Eve Friday. But we added on this bonus as a thank you to all of you who bought tickets. Okay, we're going to be speaking shortly to Anne Gilday. She's a founding member of comedy supergroup The Newlas and is well-known comedian and writer, of course. And we're going to be talking about, and I've been told that this is how it's been set up, as part of Wellness Wednesday, we're going to combine fun and menopause. And some might say, well, that's easy for you to say, Greg. Well, it's not my word. Stay with us. We'll be back with more on the 9 till noon show after we take this quick break.
The county's #1 talk show, The 9 till noon show on Highland Radio. The 9 till noon show is brought to you by Letterkenny Credit Union, with monster loans available up to €60,000 for all occasions. Visit letterkennycu.ie.
At Tesco, we're helping you become more Christmas. Get 3 for $2 on hundreds of meats and cheeses, like our finest barrel-aged feta. Don't forget the crackers. Plus 3 for $2 on selected party foods, like our finest camembert sharing bread. Share it or keep it to yourself. And now for what we've all been dreaming about, our Board B approved fresh Irish turkeys from €8.99 each. Available in-store from December 19th. Tesco. Every little helps. Club card required. Cheapest product free. Subject to availability. Available in the majority of stores. Prices may vary in express stores. T's and C's apply. See tesco.ie.
Everyone loves going to the cinema. That's why an Eclipse Cinemas gift voucher is the perfect Christmas present. They aren't just for kids, but all the family. Even little Miss Hard to Buy For. We all have one of them. And when you buy an Eclipse Cinemas gift voucher, you now get 10% extra free. Available on our Bundoran and Lifford Cinemas or at eclipsecinemas.com. Vouchers don't expire and can even be used for dine-in screen options and VIP cinema experiences.
Express Frozen Food Store Derry open 6 days per week, offering catering quality frozen food at unbelievable prices. Excellent rate on the euro. Express Frozen Food Store Derry, just before the Brunswick Movie Bowl. Great food, great value and excellent rates on the euro. Wishing everyone a happy Christmas and a prosperous new year.
A public interest message from Donegal County Council. With the recent focus on climate change and the likelihood of extreme weather events over the coming weeks and months, Donegal County Council would like to remind farmers of the importance of protecting watercourses during this busy time in the farmyard. Keep a regular check on gutters and downpipes to minimise soiled water and make sure all silage effluent is collected by keeping channels clean. Prevent sediment from yards, roadways or the poaching of land making its way into streams. All milk producers are reminded that spreading of soiled water to land is prohibited between the 10th of December and the 31st of December this year. Donegal County Council, protecting your environment.
Make your Christmas dinner truly special at Ballyholy Farm Shop. With locally grown fruit and veg harvested daily, as recently seen on RTE's Ear to the Ground, John and his team have all you'll need for the perfect Christmas dinner. Located on the Lifford Road, just 10 minutes from Letterkenny, Ballyholy Log Cabin Farm Shop is open all this week, including late Thursday to Saturday, and even on Sunday morning. Don't forget to grab a fresh coffee when you're in at Ballyholy Farm Shop.
Highland Radio time checks with Expressway. Travel Route 32 from Letterkenny to Dublin when you book online and travel for less. Expressway, bringing you the time at...
It is 11:19. Now, you have two opportunities to see a new show in Greenon Theatre on Friday the 2nd of February and Bala Theatre Saturday the 17th. We'll tell you more about that once we get some context. Because on today's Wellness Wednesday, we thought we would combine fun and menopause. And someone said, well, that's easy for you to say. I'm just reading a script, folks. So How to Get the Menopause and Enjoy is a show by Anne Gilday. And Anne Gilday is a founding member of the comedy supergroup The New, and also, of course, very well-known comedian and writer in her own right. And as I say, this performance coming to on Greenon and the Ballard. And Anne is with us now. Good morning to you, Anne. How are you getting on?
Good morning. Is my mic working?
It is loud and clear. Both loud and clear.
That's fantastic. I'm a bit of a Luddite.
Well,
a bit of a tech phobe.
You're doing fantastic so far, so let's stick with it. So talk to us about this this show that's coming to Donegal. Is it possible? Of course it is, isn't it? Because you've written a show about it, to get menopause and enjoy.
Well, the essence of it being funny, I think, is that I think women at this point in life have been through so much, know a thing or two about life, and the one thing all the women I meet have is just a brilliant sense of humor and lightness about what life's about. And I think that in direct proportion to how serious things are, you can make them funny. And of course, it's a really... one big thing I found funny when I started researching it was all I didn't know about my own body, about what I was going through. I thought menopause was just, your periods stop and you get the odd hot flush. There are so many other things that women do not realise are to do with menopause and your hormones, just eroding away.
And I think too, for to a great extent, that's been as a result probably of generations of suppressing it. Or suppressing even talking about it, because you just threw the word period out there as if it was nothing, right? Can you imagine 20 years ago or 25? You know what I mean? Like, so sometimes where we're at and where we're going, we have to remember too, don't we? And where we came from, where this was a secret, this was a say nothing, grin and bear it. It's in your head, or it's not happening, or whatever.
Do you know, funny thing, even as I said the word period, I was going, oh, what time is it? It's still morning. Can I say it?
I know what you mean,
You know,
yeah.
it's, and that is a thing I love about the show. I pitch it all in this kind of frame of menopause being reverse puberty. So I talk a lot about women. I'm in my 50s now, in my late 50s, and I talk about the experience of women of my generation kind of growing up and going through all that and the absolute secrecy around it. And I talked to so many women after the show, and the stories are unbelievable about, you know, things happening in their body, particularly when they're young, and not having a clue, and the shame and the hilarious situations you end up in.
Yeah, and we've seen shows in the past dealing with issues like mental health, Alzheimer's, many other different issues. And, you know, it's not laughing at it, but I think when there's comedy mixed in, as I mentioned on the previous shows, it helps to have the conversation and to address really quite a serious subject matter, because I'm sure there are people in the audience that go, yeah, that's me, even though it might be framed, you know, not as as an educational talk.
Absolutely, and and there's things I mentioned that women do. The big thing is when I start talking about symptoms. Like a big symptom I had was I started suddenly getting terrible vertigo, and I thought, oh my God, I'd had breast cancer. I thought it's back, it's gone to the brain, and totally to do with fluctuation in hormones. So many women say to me afterwards, absolutely the same experience. They're going, what the hell is wrong with me? And that is, you know, and that's the nub of the humour there, is the shared experience of it.
Yeah.
Like I've had so many women say that in the intermission, like the chat and the ladies, everybody chatting to each other, you know, sharing their experiences. And of course, I have to say it's a very inclusive condition. You know, you don't have to get it to suffer from it. So
yeah, and it's funny.
Enjoy it too.
It's funny. It's interesting that you referenced your cancer, because your recent memoir, "I've Got Cancer, What's Your Excuse?" And another thing that we've talked about a few times on this show that isn't often talked about is, you know, oh, I've got the all clear, or whatever way you want to phrase it, is the fear and anxiety of it returning, just as you described. And I know with my sister as well, unfortunately, that is what happened, but it's not often talked about. It's like, right, woman, you're better now, crack on with everything you were doing before. We don't often talk about sort of the trauma that can follow, or the anxiety. You know, it's a particular condition to be worrying about that, you know. So it's great that we're talking about these things a bit more now, I think, Anne.
Yeah, I always remember when I was going through cancer, a woman saying to me that we had an absolutely brilliant oncologist, but he was, you know, he didn't mince his words. And she went into him at the end of her treatment, and he said, that's it, you finish now. And she went, no more scans, no more checkups. And he went, no, that's it, we're happy that, you know, you're okay. And she went, but how will I know that how will I know I'm completely cancer free? And he said, when you die is something else.
Okay.
Which I love.
I'm not sure. Yeah, it depends on who heard it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's absolutely outrageous.
Yeah.
But it also comes to this ultimate thing of the great irony of life, is that the one inevitable thing is that we're all going to die at the end of the day. I just thought, was it just a brilliant encapsulation of the whole overwhelming thing of going through cancer, because of course you're meeting with your mortality, and it makes you think about that.
Can I ask, just in terms of, not exclusively, but to a great extent maybe, you know, particularly with your memoir, particularly with this work that you're touring with now, you know, reflecting on and using your own experiences, because it kind of, you know, it's kind of, people might want to compartmentalize or move on or do that, but you're using it as part of your work as well, and it motivates the conversation and what have you. Is that a tough thing for you, or is it perfectly natural for you, or does it make it more difficult for you? Because I'm thinking of a comedian in Britain, John Robbins is an excellent young comedian, but his shows are written based on his struggles with his mental health and his social anxiety and stuff like that there. And reading an interview with him, he found it really quite difficult, but it's the only way he could do it. What's your journey like in using your personal experiences?
Well, when it came to the cancer, I found I was lucky. The way that I got through it was I had a column at the time, and I just wrote about it, and it just turned into a bit of an industry because I wrote a column, then I did a radio interview, then I got an offer to do a documentary, and then I got a book deal. And at the time, this is like 12 years ago, there wasn't the same information out there. I think now with social media, people know, oh, this is what chemo ward looks like. This is what you're going to go through. I felt really in the dark about what I was facing into. Now it's a more open time. So my way of getting through it, and also to share the information with other women about to enter into it, was to just process it through talking about it. So it really helped me personally in that way. And then I felt I just got over it. So I do mention it slightly in this current show. I talk about it in terms of amusing stuff around getting a reconstruction. And I think with the menopause, I was really tentative about going into that topic because I had this thing that most people have. Oh, can you talk about that? Oh, that word menopause. And it was actually my partner who I work with said to me, you really should pitch your whole show around the concept of menopause. And I knew there was a show there when I started researching it. And like I said, realized all I did not know. And I knew that if I spun this in a really funny way, that would really engage the audience, because they would be coming on the journey with me going, yeah, I don't know. I never heard that either. You know, I didn't know about that. And it's not just the mystery around it, it's that how important it is for women's long-term health. Like 1 in 4 Irish women would die of heart disease or stroke. We get twice the rate of dementia men get, and we get 4 times the rate of osteoporosis. And those 3 things in particular related to your brains, your bones, and your heart are correlated to the fall in estrogen that happens during the menopause. And it's facts like that I actually went on HRT as I was researching, and I would have been in a kind of postmenopausal phase by then because of my cancer treatment. But I realized long-term health was a really important part of the piece, and I did not have a clue about that. And it's just, I find great comedy there then in
for sure. But also though, it is really important that sometimes some people, I'm sure though people at the shows will hear this, because also what we've that will hear it and maybe go and get help or whatever might be required, because also too we know women have other things that they put down to the menopause and don't go and get checked out, which is another serious issue as well. And we're not all the way there. I mean, we can talk about it now, which is grand, and there's some great work that's been done, over in Britain. I think Davina McCall and over here as well. But we're not all the way there yet. You know what I mean? There has to be action on the back of a lot of these words as well. This is half of our population.
There's 51% of the population, and the stories I hear from women who go, I went into my doctor and I said, I want to have a conversation about menopause. One lady said, her doctor said, well, I wouldn't really know about that because that's lady stuff. That's the doctor. Okay, yeah. Isn't that amazing? And another said, you don't want HRT for vanity reasons. Okay. I think maybe he was thinking, oh, it keeps your hair, I want my hair and my skin to look good. I think I'll go on HRT.
Yeah, for the crack. Safe on the Botox or something, or the Botox. I know it's crazy, isn't it?
Here's the big thing for me. That osteoporosis piece is related to the fact that as your estrogen falls, it can really contribute to the loss of bone density. And do you ever notice some women really shrink as they get older? Like I talk about it in the show. My mum, I say she used to be the same height as me, and now she's the size of a coffee table. And all my aunties were like that. They were all big, tall women, and now when there's a family get together, it's like a gnome convention. Everybody shrunk, and I joke about this, but it is actually true. That is one of the reasons I went on HRT. I thought I don't want to turn into little gnome lady.
You didn't want to join the coffee table club, is that what you're saying? Yes. Okay. I'm not sure if you've done. I know you're doing a run in the new year. If you've done the show previously, pardon my ignorance, Anne.
So I started the show on Valentine's Day in 2022.
Oh, good. Well, that sets up the next question perfectly then. So what's the demographic of the audience? Is it seen as a women's day out where mums and grannies go with the daughters? Is there fellas in there? Tell us.
There are fellas in there, and I've had some fellas actually book and bring their wives along. And then I've got women who bring their husbands along. And then what I absolutely love is that I get mums going through menopause, bring their daughters, and bring there's an awful lot of older women come. I've had a woman who came, and it was her 90th birthday. That's the oldest person that I've had in the audience. And the experiences they share are just phenomenal about, going into the shop and how the STs, the sanitary towels would be wrapped up in newspaper and handed over. And they love it. They love, I've had old women hold my hand and go, "You just described my life." Like really, it's really moving having the cross-generational thing.
Yeah.
So also it's mainly female, of course, but I'd love more men to come, because I'd love to see a show like this about men, because it is the secret life of women. It's all the secret stuff about women that you think everything's out in the world because we've got social media and everybody's talking about everything. But this is really things that haven't been talked about before,
That's okay. Well, people have two opportunities to see the show in On Green on Theatre on Friday the 2nd of February at 8 p.m. It's also in the Bala Theatre Saturday the 7th of February at 8 p.m. Two brilliant venues as well.
I've played at the Bala Theatre already. It's such a beautiful town.
Performers say that, about the theatre and the town, of course.
Oh, it's absolutely beautiful. And then Letterkenny, I've been there with the Newlands loads of times, but I haven't been there with this show, so I'm really looking forward to going to Letterkenny. And I think that my name, Gildee, comes from that area. I just noticed loads of Gildees on the shops.
A lot of them around. Okay, and also to, you remember I've got cancer, what's your excuse? That was an inspiration for The Bright Side. I think it was in the cinemas. It's on Amazon at the moment, just in case people are looking for something to watch. Is The Bright Side a direct sort of visual reproduction of your memoir, or what's the story?
The girl who made the totally forgotten the name of the director. That's totally menopause.
You can't blame it for everything.
I forgot we were doing this interview till I got a call this morning saying, "We're just running a bit late." I went,
late for what?
This is what I went. I went, "Oh, okay, fine." And then I went, "Late for what? Oh, shit." That's what was going, is my mic on? And that's why I was going to set up a nice background, but look, you're in a mess. I did this.
I saw you do that. I thought, she got one of those fancy cameras that follows your face around.
Yes, I wanted to make it look like I'm in the Caribbean going, I'm on a break. Oh, the show's doing so well. Look at the mansion I'm living in. Look at the lifestyle. He sent me coats on the back of the door.
Can I just say something about coat hangers? This has got nothing to do with anything. But what I've realised, I'm throwing out the shoe rack and the thing you hang coats on. And maybe I've got menopause now. I can't think of what that's called. The coat rack. Throwing them out, especially with young people in the house. They just become an absolute magnet for every crappy shoe, coat, jumper, scarf, slip-ons, Crocs, everything. All of the bedrooms have been emptied out and all of the crap is dumped around about the shoe stand and the coat hanger. It's absolutely crazy.
Yeah, I get those for, the ones that I've got, the ones you hang on the back of the door, and they're so handy. But I got hoodies. Mine are just full of hoodies.
But it's nice because you find a jacket hidden under 7 others that you didn't even realise you have, and it's like, whoa, it's Christmas all year round.
Yeah, I've ties, I've belts, I've bags, I've scarves, I've hoodies. And then you go in, what season is it? I've 4 seasons.
You got to take a coat off one day, and your other half's going to be in under there going, how long have you left me here for? Come here. We look forward to welcoming you up to Donegal again in February. You can check out the box office on Green on Theatre for the 2nd of February show. The Bala Theatre Saturday the 7th of February. And I'm talking to some lads out there and lassies as well. You're wondering what to get someone for Christmas. Well, you've heard Anne there. It sounds like it would be a great show, especially if you say, I'm going along as well, because I want a bit of crack and a bit of understanding in it as well. So it's a perfect timing, perfectly timed interview, even if we both half forgot about it. And it's been lovely chatting to you.
A brilliant chat to you. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas, and to all your listeners too. Hope you have a really fabulous time, and I'm so looking forward to being up there.
I'm delighted to hear you doing so well, and everything's going so well for you. Thank you so very much indeed.
Thank you.
Bye.
Watch the show live now on YouTube, Facebook, and at highlandradio.com. The 9 till noon show is brought to you by Letterkenny Credit Union, offering low-rate car loans with fast approval. Apply online at letterkennycu.ie or in office today.
This Christmas at Super Value, we have great offers to help you share the magic, like Super Value Signature Taste Fresh Irish Hampshire Ham Fillet, 1.4 kilo, only $10.99. Selected fruit and veg like carrots and Brussels sprouts, 49 cents each. Plus, get money off vouchers every week on the Real Rewards app too. Share the magic this Christmas with Super Value, in-store or online.
Spoil someone with a beautiful fragrance this Christmas from McGee's Chemist Letterkenny. Choose by designer, budget or celebrity. Top names like Chanel, Lancôme, Christian Dior and Jimmy Choo. Also great prices on Yves Saint Laurent, Prada and so many more. The best fragrance gift sets available this year can also be found in McGee's Chemist Main Street Letterkenny and online at mcgees.ie. McGee's, where the best costs less.
The Three Amigos, Jimmy Buckley, Robert Mazzell and Patrick Feeney are back on tour with their award-winning live show. See The Three Amigos live. Conry Hotel Letterkenny, Tuesday, January 23rd. Tickets, priced €35, are now on sale at the hotel reception and ticketmaster.ie, where extra charges may apply.
Happy Christmas from the Three Amigos!
If you're in Letterkenny doing a bit of Christmas shopping and the hunger hits, pull into Charlie's. The menu is packed with delicious options for all the family, including mouth-watering burgers, delicious chicken and battered fresh fish. Not to mention the famous Charlie's chips, the tastiest in town. All the food is hand-cooked to order and there's a great selection of gluten-free options also on the menu. Happy Christmas from everyone at Charlie's on Pierce Road, Letterkenny. Open every Tuesday to Saturday from 12 to 8.
There's something about this time of year that makes you want to be near all the things that remind you of your favourite Christmas. When you get that warm and fuzzy feeling, you want to be near the people you love and the things you love. So we're better to get that Christmas feeling than Letterkenny Shopping Centre. There's free parking, extended opening hours and great gifts for everyone on your list. Add in a visit to Santa, you'll have Christmas all wrapped up. Letterkenny Shopping Centre. Christmas just around the corner.
Business Matters in association with Atlantic Technological University, Donegal. Study for a Doctorate of Business Administration and obtain the highest level management qualification available. Visit atu.ie/DBA.
All right, we are previewing the Business Matters podcast from us here at Highland Radio, and its presenter is Chris Ashmore. Chris, good morning to you.
Good morning, Greg.
Some breaking news just before we come on air as it relates to wind generation, Chris. I mean, you know, left that to the last second. We talked about this last week. We effectively were meeting over 4/5 of our needs in the middle of the night. Amazing.
Yes, just checked. 82% of Ireland's wind, or of Ireland's electricity came from wind at midnight last night.
It was
as
windy.
You may have noticed, it was windy.
It was very... Now, I didn't really see it forecast, but I'll tell you, the roof nearly... Well, not literally, but the roof nearly come off. Anyway, listen, come here. Happy Christmas, Chris.
You too.
Right, okay. Let's start with some news, some general chit-chat. Donegal Investment Group PLC... they've released their figures.
Yes, the Letterkenny-based agricultural firm has released its figures. Now, these are up to the end of August of this year, which is the latest accounting period. Their revenue was up 18% and they had a pre-tax profit of 1.4 million compared to a loss of 0.2 million for the corresponding period the year before. So that's good news. The seed potato business is the mainstay of their business. They also have a property portfolio. So good to see profits rising there. So that's good news to start the business briefs with.
For sure. The CSO has released its census 2022 Profile 7. Now, they stagger the release of these. It's what they choose to do. But anyway, you've been looking at the numbers and it's thrown up some interesting figures for us here.
Indeed. Now, this relates to people's employment and occupations and commuting. And so this is applying to last April when the census was done. And there were 67 26,900 people working here in Donegal. We had 25,900 retired people. Now, that was up 16%, so that's has implications for the whole economy. A 17% increase in the number of people who were unable to work due to permanent sickness or disability. And we had in full-time employment in Donegal nearly 48,000 people full-time, 13,700 were working part-time. And a new question in the 2022 census was asking people about whether they worked from home. And of the 67,900 people working in Donegal as of April 2022, 15,300 work from home at least some of the time. So, you know,
it's not inconsiderable. It's quite a considerable number, I think.
Yeah, about maybe a quarter or so.
We tend to trend with a slightly higher unemployment rate than the rest of the country. And I wonder, is that down to job opportunities or demographics such as a higher level of people long-term unavailable for work because of sickness or disability? But it's interesting.
All sorts of factors,
it's really interesting. That's a lot of people. All right. Also, a mixture of stories on the planning front, Chris, that you're going to bring us here now.
Yeah, in Killybegs, plans for new passenger berth facilities for ships and a new small craft berths in the harbour, so that's more investment in Killybegs, so that's good to see. And meanwhile, the Department of Education has revealed plans for an extension at the Educate Together school in Letterkenny, planning permission there for an extension with more classrooms, library, staff rooms. So all this construction work, obviously a spin-off there in terms of employment. 34 new houses planned for the Coolcolly area of Ballyshannon. McHugh Brothers seeking planning approval for that development there.
It'll be interesting to see how these various sort of housing planning applications, how they move through the planning process and on to construction, Chris.
Absolutely. Now, some of the plans can go through in as little as 6, 7, 8 weeks, then subject to there being no objections, they can get underway. But as you say, watch this space. We'll see how quickly they develop. Now,
the Donegal County Council published its gender pay gap report. And I wondered, did it throw up some stats that maybe surprised some people?
Yes, the 2023 report shows a gender pay gap in Donegal County Council of minus 3.63%. So what does that mean? Well, this figure, it doesn't mean that males are paid less than females for doing the same job, but it does indicate that on average, females occupy higher paid roles than males in Donegal County Council. So that's interesting. And it's part of legislation. Any employer with more than 250 employees must publish its gender pay gap data each year now.
Okay, right. I mean, it's a familiar message, but it's an important one, especially for the last-minute shoppers out there. There are effectively, I was going to say there's one shopping day left for men, but I don't want to do that now
Half
because
day.
It's 2023 and you can't say things like that now, or you might, Chris, get cancelled. So fellas are equally as good at buying presents as women, but be that as it may, buy them local.
Buy it local.
Am I covered? I think I'm all right there.
Yeah,
am I
you're all right.
No, we'll get cancelled.
The Independent Business Association for Small and Medium Businesses, ISME, they're just making a last-ditch call on people to support their local communities by buying locally, and they've carried out research. So every euro that you spend on goods that are locally sourced, up to €4 of additional wealth is generated in the community. So effectively how it works is that, look, if you spend your money locally, that means people are being employed locally, they get their wages, they spend the money locally, and then it all goes round and round.
Yeah, for sure. And as I say, and I've said before, and I will repeat myself, because I'm sort of getting to the age now where I think that's okay. You know, it is these local shops that are the ones that employ your sons and daughters or grandchildren, but also they're there when when we hear about raffles and prizes and stuff, it's these guys, and I use that right across the gender. That it's they that put the hands in the pockets to support local. Right, on to the podcast, which is available today. Who's on?
This week, we are focusing on Ryan Allen, who's the founding director of Irish Gap Year. Now, the Irish Gap Year. This is a company set up in Bundoran, employs 13 people, and recently won an export award at the Donegal Enterprise Awards. So essentially what they do is they bring young people, mainly from America, over to Donegal and Ireland. This is after they've finished second level education, before they go into third level education, and they do everything from arts and crafts to climbing Errigal, immerse themselves in Irish culture, and gives them just a different outlook on life. And not only are they doing that here in Donegal, but he has also branched the company. They're bringing people over now and bringing them from Norway down through Denmark and Germany, Croatia, and organising. It's usually a 3-month stay. And he's really, it's an interesting business, and certainly it's going very well.
All right, let's hear from him now.
What we do is we provide structured group programs for young people that want to get out into the world and explore, learn about themselves, learn about the world, particularly things that mightn't be taught in school, or that they might not have the luxury of studying in university as a career path. For example, art. We run art programs, outdoors, nature, leadership, adventure. We have programs in that area. So really what this is it's a time for young people between before university, 18, 19, to go off with a group of like-minded people and develop as young adults through these different things. And the way I often put it to our students and their families is that, be it the outdoors or, our arts program or our backpacking program, the destination is growing as a person. So a more resilient, confident version of yourself. You're taking young people and you're bringing them for 3 months on this journey. And then at the end, you're returning them to your parents like a more complete version of themselves, basically.
Yeah, plenty of room for growth there. Okay, Ryan Allen, founding director of Irish Gap Year, is Chris Ashmore's guest on Business Matters podcast this week. The podcast available for you right now on our website, highlandradio.com, where you can stream it there, or indeed download it to listen at your leisure, and lots of previous episodes there as well. And also, of course, Chris on air after the 6 o'clock news on Christmas Eve, is it?
That's correct,
That's
yes.
the plan
Driving
so far,
home for
anyway.
Christmas.
And that's a break now till the New Year's.
No, we have one on New Year's Eve as well.
Well done, Chris.
Never
All right,
stops.
great stuff.
Never
One in the
stops.
bag. All right, brilliant, Chris. Thanks for calling in. I really appreciate you helping us to preview the podcast, but also keep us up to date on the business news across the region and beyond as well. Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, Greg.
All rightio. We'll be back with more. In fact, not only just more. Hopefully, we'll be back with less, because I'm looking to offload €1,000. We are going to be drawing a ticket from our Trombola during this break. We're hoping to ring someone. If they answer the phone, they win €1,000 for Christmas. It's as simple as that. We're all local here, so you can just come and pick it up. That's coming up after the break, so stay right where you are. And if you have bought a ticket, please keep your phone close to you. If it's not won, it'll be rolled over to later in the day. But listen, let's hopefully give it away now in the next 11 minutes.
The 9 till noon show is brought to you by Letterkenny Credit Union. Digital loans now available. Apply online or via our app today and get your loan transferred directly to your current account.
Celebrate this season of giving with Gallon Hotels. Give the gift of a 4-star Donegal hotel experience. From spa days and dining delights to overnight escapes and health club memberships. Visit Villa Rose, Jackson's or Kirch Hotel online to purchase and give the gift of happiness this festive season.
At Joe McGee Butchers, we have all your needs to make this Christmas dinner extra special. So, if it's a fresh whole turkey, a turkey breast fillet in a vac-pack cooking bag with a cooking pop-up timer, a ham joint or a succulent dry-aged sirloin steak, then call in to Joe McGee Butchers at Glencar Shopping Centre and the Letterkenny Shopping Centre, where we have Christmas all wrapped up for you.
New this week in Home Store and More. All fireplace accessories are all half price. But better hurry, because when all our half price fireplace accessories are gone, they're gone. Also, all Casual Living barware accessories are still half price. But when all the half price Casual Living barware accessories are gone, they're definitely gone. Drop by your local Home Store and More, or visit us online at homestoreandmore.ie. New store now open in Frascati Centre, Blackrock, Dublin. Home Store and More. A happy home.
Shop Evolve Clothing for Lyle and Scott, Tommy Bow, G-Star, Ellie Hansen, and many more casual and streetwear brands. Menswear Superstore, Letterkenny Retail Park, or online at evolveclothing.com. 2 floors of fashion, open 7 days.
Joe Gallagher Entertainment present the High Kings, Ireland's favourite folk group, bringing their Road Not Taken tour to the Mount Erical Hotel, Letterkenny, December 27th, Struhl Arts Centre, Omagh, 3rd of January, and Derry, 4th and 5th of January. Tickets on sale from the venue box offices and ticketmaster.ie.
At Tesco, we're helping you become more Christmas. Get 3 for 2 on hundreds of meats and cheeses, like our finest barrel-aged feta. Don't forget the crackers. Plus 3 for 2 on selected party foods, like our finest camembert sharing bread. Share it or keep it to yourself. And now for what we've all been dreaming about, our Board B approved fresh Irish turkeys from €8.99 each. Available in-store from December 19th. Tesco. Every little helps. Club card required. Cheapest product free. Subject to availability. Available in the majority of stores. Prices may vary in express stores. T's and C's apply. See tesco.ie.
Whatever the weather this December, Letterkenny will bring a warm front to your shopping and great value for your pocket. Highland Weather Forecast, brought to you by Shop LK.
Okay, so let's see. Breezy or windy today and cloudy with outbreaks of rain and drizzle. Persistent at times. Mild with top temperatures of 9 to 11 degrees. Locally fresh, locally strong and gusty west and northwest winds, which will be strongest in western and northern parts, which is us here across the northwest. Now, it's going to become very windy tonight as west and northwest winds increase strong to near gale force and gusty, reaching gale force near north and western coast. Seas will be high near northern and western coasts with the potential for wave overtopping and localised disruption. Mostly cloudy with scattered outbreaks of rain and drizzle. Now, just to let you know that for tomorrow, Thursday, there is a status yellow wind warning in place for us here in the northwest. And Met Éireann say northwest winds will be very strong at times. High waves are also expected, as I mentioned. So potential impacts, wave overtopping, debris, loose objects displaced, difficult driving and cycling conditions. And that is valid from midnight tonight until 8 p.m. tomorrow. Right, now it is time for us to hopefully give away €1,000. This is part of our big car draw, and we're going to see now, hopefully, if this person answers the call in the designated rings. And that is it. No answer, I am afraid. So unfortunately, I'm not going to give away the €1,000 on this show. But look, there'll be another opportunity to win that €1,000 later in the day. And let me just say, by the way, of course, that this is a bonus on top of the car draw. The car draw is what you bought your tickets for. And what we've decided to do as part of this process is just to put another layer on top. And of course, it's a disappointment if you miss the call, but this is about the car draw. And this is just a thank you bonus. So unfortunately from my perspective, it's going to be fortunate for someone later in today. We're going to try that again. And hopefully that person answers. If not, it rolls over tomorrow again, where there'll be €2,000 up for grabs. It all wraps up on Friday, by the way. Who's to say we might give away 3,000 and a car on Friday, but we're definitely giving away a beautiful car worth over 30,000, and it could well be to the person who just didn't answer that call, because that number has gone into the Trombola once again. It's all been mixed around, and someone, they could well win. Odds probably narrow, but you know what I mean. Anne's a good tonic. Pity she couldn't bottle it. Just what we need nowadays. Love her. That comes in from Amy in Carndon. Indeed. Great show from the Lake House. Nice for the residents to have Highland Radio there. Tell Tommy that if he looks around the place that he might get the pair of socks that he was looking for. Okay, I'll pass that on. Christmas greetings to Seamus McIntyre, Mary Doherty, Joe McGee and all the residents of the Lake House from Dunmore listener. More than happy to do that for you. Ladies, I just want to mention this actually. Maybe you can do a Christmas favour for someone. A lady's green-rimmed glasses were lost on Tuesday around 1 o'clock between Scally Place and Rosemont Lane in Letterkenny. They're quite distinctive, I'd imagine. So it's a set of ladies' green-rimmed glasses. If you happen to be around Scally Place, Rosemont, and picked them up and left them somewhere or took them home, please let us know. It's probably a long shot, but fingers crossed. Fingers crossed that we can get them returned to that person. Good morning, Greg, and a very Merry Christmas to you and Aisling and, of course, Hudson and all the presenters, management and behind the scenes at Highland Radio. From Clonmany, gang, be nice to see Tommy and Sinead visit Clonmany Centre, St. Columkills. I think our schedule's been laid out for us now. We are in tomorrow, did you say, Caroline, Ramelton? Where are we tomorrow? Ramelton? I think you mentioned Ramelton, yeah. Good morning, Greg. Yeah, I've noticed the very bright lights on some cars recently, and I know that you can get really bright bulbs to put on any car now. And in relation to indicating, it is a really big problem. Some people are turning left on the main road. Brakes slow down, but don't indicate until they've actually started running off the road. And indeed, some people don't indicate at all. And on it goes. We'll carry those comments over until tomorrow. Thank you so much. We have another show tomorrow. We're out and about tomorrow. We're going to be talking to some amazing organisations. It's going to be a really interesting show, so hopefully you can join us. We're going to hook in with that. I haven't figured out technically how we're going to do that yet, but sure, listen, it'll be fun trying. I'm sure we'll manage it. We're pushing envelopes here every time we do something, so it'll all work out. So thanks to Caroline O, who researched and produced. Thanks to Shannon, producing the show as well, working on our social media. Really appreciate it. Wilkins. Sharon Wilkin. Shannon Wilkin. I'm only joking, Shannon. Thank you very much indeed. I can't mention the coffee because then it makes out as if you just bring me coffee, which is, it's much more than that. So it's great to have Sharon Wilkins back with Caroline. We're all going to be back with you tomorrow morning from 9. Stay tuned. John Breslin's up here.